Well, good afternoon and welcome to this T20 game between the two West Country sides in this division. It's Somerset against Gloucestershire at Taunton under clear blue skies. My name is Charlie Taylor. I'm joined by Steve Snell from Somerset County Cricket Club in charge of their pathways and academies here. Steve, beautiful day for cricket, something we've been looking for the last couple of times, and it should be a really good game today.
Yeah, absolutely, Charlie. It's an afternoon which screams, I want to play cricket, I want to watch cricket, I want to be involved in cricket, or be at a beach somewhere. But we're all delighted to be here today to bring you this game. And what a game we've got, a local derby too. Gloucestershire flying high in the table. Somerset had a couple of tricky matches, so we'll be looking at to bounce back today. But yeah, can't wait for this one.
Well, hello to you wherever you're watching in the world, whether it's here in England or around the world, particularly to those listening in from Pakistan here to watch Babar Azam as well as the other players. News from the toss is that Somerset have won it and have chosen to bowl, so they will be in the field to start with. What do you make of that decision, Steve? A couple of failed chases in the last home games here.
Yeah, absolutely. Somerset haven't chased terribly, but the results of the game have gone against them. Obviously, Warwickshire got quite close, Gloucestershire got quite close, so nearly there, but equally slightly surprised when given the opportunity to put some runs on the board that Lewis Gregory hasn't taken that option. But I think the conditions are likely to stay pretty good for the whole day, really. I mean, we've spoken at length for the last couple of games about the dew in the evenings being a factor. Not going to have any such slipperiness today underfoot. Yeah, it's going to absolutely scorching afternoon here in Taunton. So yeah, I think that the wicket's going to be fairly consistent, I'm sure, for the whole day. And yeah, some good players on show, should be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a glorious day. It's like the middle of summer here, even though we're very much into the autumn season. A quick look through the teams then for you. We'll start off with the home side. Somerset, they'll be opening up, as they have done so far since he joined the squad, Babar Azam and Steve Davies up top. It'll be Will Smead, made his debut on Friday, scored 4 runs, and he's just 18 years old, from Glastonbury, someone who's come up with Steve through the academies. We'll talk more about him, I'm sure, later on in the game. Tom Abel is in the squad at number 4, playing very well in all formats at the moment. Bartlett has come in for Byram in this game. Then we've got Lewis Gregory, the captain, Tom Lammonby. Josh Davey returns. He missed Friday night with a stomach bug, but he's back in the squad, replacing Craig Overton. Roloff van der Merwe, Ollie Sale and Max Waller making up the 11. Quick look through the Gloucestershire side for you. Chris Dent, Miles Hammond, Ian Cobain and Ryan Higgins, the top 4 for Gloucestershire. Then James Bracey, wicket. Jack Taylor is the captain. George Scott, Benny Howe, Graham Van Buren, Tom Smith and David Payne finishing off the Gloucestershire 11. We've got so much going on here. We've only got 20 minutes before kick-off. You can see the Somerset team on your screens now. Stephen, you've been out looking around the ground today. Is another charity going to benefit? Tell us a bit about what we can expect.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had some brilliant people who've been benefited from our association with Trade Nation in terms of the charities that have been supported. Today it's the turn of Children's Hospice South West, and I know that some of the Somerset staff in particular, it is a cause very close to the heart of many, but superb charity, and it's brilliant that Trade Nation will be supporting them. There's £250 if those tees are hit, and also £50 for any 6s and £25 for any 4s. But we're going to have a look at those BT in a minute in regards to that. But just before we do, I just wanted to touch on Gloucestershire's side. They've got a lot of T20 specialists in their 11. Tom Smith, for example, Benny Howe back from injury, David Payne, Jack Taylor, absolutely loaded with guys who've got good experience with the white ball. So I think this is going to be a real stern test for Somerset today, and I'm really excited about what the level of the game is going to be. So I think we're going to see plenty of runs, plenty of boundaries, and of course that means lots of donated money to Children's Hospice South West. But let's have a look at what they need to do in order to donate some of that money. Today's chosen charity is Children's Hospice South West, isn't it? Sorry, we go again.
Yeah.
Today's local cause is Children's Hospice South West, and as we've mentioned a few times so far during this campaign, if we can whack into one of these boards, I might even give it a little headbutt tonight. Yep, pretty solid. And there's £250 to Children's Hospice South West. Nobody has managed to hit one of these yet, so we're hoping today will be the day. Also, we've got £25 for any 4s, £50 for any 6s, but we're hoping for a decent strike on here. 250 quid to Children's Hospice South West. Looking forward to it.
Well, there we go. That is what happens if those boards get hit. Just to reiterate, 250 quid if those boards get hit straight away. Go to the Children's Hospice Southwest. 50 quid for every 6 and 25 quid for every 4. Let's have a chat with James White, who's here on behalf of Trade Nation. James, lots of money being donated for charity from Trade Nation. Tell me a bit more about what they do. How does it work?
Yeah, great stuff. And by the way, Chino watches. I'm in Sterling's chair, so I don't know if hopefully Chino watches okay. But no, it's all good. No, it's so trading is an ability for you to go and trade the financial markets. People think it's stocks and shares. You can buy anything. You can buy any type of market that you want to trade on. And what we encourage people is just to have a look at tradenation.com, have a little look at what it is, have a look at, definitely just try and get an understanding of it, because it's growing very fast. Lots of people now are doing it, and and for Trade Nation, they're really excited to be able to get someone hopefully going to hit the boards today. We're trying to give away 250 quid, Charlie, but we haven't had anyone hit a board yet.
We've still had over £1,000 in every game, which is great. But yeah, it would be great to see those boards getting hit. But I'm someone like me, total novice, never done anything with stocks and shares, don't really understand how it works. Would I understand Trade Nation if I went on there and had a look?
Yeah, you would. And what we say to people is it's like anything. If you want to learn something new, you want to try and learn from some independent people, look at some research, look at some basic beginner guides. There's lots on the Trade Nation website you can go to. Just have a little look at what something is to start. It's an intriguing area that's growing really quickly, especially across all over the world. So trading now, 4 in 10 women now trading. So it's fast growing. So have a little look. It's available to everyone, but and we always say this at Trade Nation, the key thing is, like anything like this, just go into your eyes wide open. Just have a quick look at stuff, but don't rush in. There's a demo account you can have a look at, but just take your time. This is an environment where we encourage people to really take the time and take a plan. If you're going to go learn to play cricket, you'd have a plan for it. The same with trading.
TradeNation.com for people who are interested in finding out more. James, great to speak to you. Thank you. Let's find out a bit more about today's chosen charity. That's the Children's Hospice Southwest.
I wish that Children's Hospice had been in our life at a lot earlier stage, because it probably would have made our life a lot easier.
I can just enjoy all the bits that sometimes you forget to enjoy because you're so busy thinking of the next job you have to do.
For me, it's that complete rest.
For me, it's a holiday.
It's a dream come true.
Yeah.
They want you just to take some time out together as a couple or just for yourself. It's a special place.
We thought it would be more like a hospital, and it doesn't look like a hospital. It looks like a holiday house. It does.
It does.
They want to give us the help that we need, so they tailor it to what we need as a family. It's something very special about that, I think, and I don't think you find it anywhere else.
It's just time as a family with other families in the same situation.
I think it was a miracle happened to us through this place, and through this help we're able to have a normal, happy family life.
We finally felt that we've got that support that we needed.
Just so many points where you need that support.
Without the hospice, I can't see a way in which we would have coped. All your domestic needs are met here, and you can forget all those things that actually kind of sometimes are the straw that breaks your back. I don't know where we'd be right now without the hospice.
We'd never known about this place. I would have been in depression, I admit that. The pressure is so much.
We feel very
privileged.
Privileged is the word, that we can come here and have that break, but at our own terms, really.
Coming here feels like we're coming home. It's that real comfortable, loving feeling.
Really great cause, doing some fantastic work across the whole of the southwest. So pleased to say they'll be the beneficiaries of any 4s and 6s. Fingers crossed we'll see those Trade Nation tees hit as well. Steve Snell rejoins me in the commentary box. We've had a tweet in already about Chino Watch saying surely it's a Chino shorts kind of day. He's disappointed us there, no shorts on show.
It's Sunday, isn't it? Like a casual Sunday, dressed down Sundays. So I thought a bit of trainers and jeans, and obviously like working with a kind of youthful, attractive, good-looking presenter such as yourself, Charlie, with the Nike Air kicks and the jeans. I thought I need to be a little bit cooler than the mustard chinos. So just going for a little bit more youthful looking vibe today. Hopefully I'm pulling it off.
Oh, you're doing a great job. Let's take a quick look at the teams together, shall we? Somerset against Gloucestershire. I mean, this is the sort of game you really want that crowd in as well. It's a shame today not to have them there. Somerset against Gloucestershire. It's a local rivalry. It's a glorious day as well. It's going to be a shame not to see the crowd in, but the two teams line up. How do you rate them on paper?
Yeah, absolutely. On the crowd, I was thinking obviously with the new rule of 6 that Boris Johnson mentioned the other day. I actually remember how bored I was during lockdown with no sport on whatsoever. So I'm going to go a glass half full today. I'm just absolutely delighted there is some sport going on, as opposed to people not going to be here. Hopefully next season people will be back. But let's talk about the teams. I'm so excited about some of the matchups in today's. Benny Howe, Novak Djokovic look-alike. Actually, he's absolute doppelganger for him, isn't it? He's back in the side today, and with his little phantom balls that he bowls. He's not quite the speed of Daryl Mitchell that we saw the other day, but he's certainly got some good variations. But he might be a bit rusty. He hasn't had much of a chance to play any competitive cricket at all, so where he's at will be very interesting. But Tom Abel, he's the man of the moment, isn't he, for Somerset? He is oozing class and also responsibility. The innings he's playing, he's right at the forefront of every game, and Tom Abel's playing brilliantly for Somerset. I think looking at some of the Gloucestershire side, Ian Cobain and Chris Dent, they're powerful strikers of the ball, and white ball cricket, very dangerous on all areas of the wicket too, so I certainly think there'll be key men with the bat for Gloucestershire. And then Graham Van Buren, 3 for 15 the other night against Northamptonshire. Maybe a bit of a surprise, Gloucestershire turning over Northend, so I think he'll certainly be one to watch. But for Somerset's perspective, Josh Davey coming back in the side, he's potentially got a little bit of a point to prove, so yeah, I'm sure he'll be on the money for Somerset today.
Yeah, really exciting, these two teams. It's always great when they meet. We'll see how they get on. Game starting in about 10 minutes. Before we get there, we're going to hear a bit more from Somerset legend Marcus Trescothy.
Marcus, firstly, thanks for joining us. I haven't had a chance to catch up too much, apart from kind of losing most of your balls the other night in practice. I know, hopefully, we're still on speaking terms. But yeah, it's been an interesting summer for everyone. But not only yourself, you've been involved with the England squads in the one-day bubble. How has that been for you?
Very good. Obviously, the experience of being around the England team and working with the best players in the country. Just sort of the involvement and seeing how they operate and seeing what sort of approach they have to white ball cricket has been great to see. And then you can try and hopefully bring some of those little sort of key little aspects back, talk to some of the younger players and talk to the coaches to maybe sort of pass on and improve what the team are trying to do here. It's a longer term project. As you can see with the England white ball team, it's taken them a couple of years to obviously get to #1 in the world in both formats, but they're very close to being, hopefully kicking on and doing well, and hopefully they can see the team doing something similar.
Yeah, well, on that subject, what do you think the biggest differentiators are between the kind of the county batsmen and then those players who are doing it on that international stage? What's the key difference?
I would say it's belief more than anything else. The approach that they have, they believe they can pretty much do anything within the England setup. And these guys are at a different stage of their career. They're coming through that journey and seeing and adapting to different conditions in white ball cricket. So, you're talking to the best players in the world, some of them, Josh Butlers, Owen Morgans, Ben Stokes, these type of people, their belief levels are very, very high in what they can do because they've practiced it, they've done it under pressure for the England team, but also in IPLs, Big Bashes and things like that. So their bank of confidence is greater, and that's what you've got to try and grow with these players because they have the ability. It's not that bad. It's just trying to unlock things in their brain to give them the confidence to come out and do it for Somerset.
Absolutely sounds like a great experience. I did great to see back in the Somerset kit as well. I did actually see a picture earlier of you in 3 lines. It's actually a very different era, 15 years ago, the 2005 Ashes. Actually, you and Ashley Giles looking very, very sensible, and Freddie and Michael Vaughan not so much to your left and your right.
Absolutely. So, great memories. Pinnacles of your career when we're talking about those sort of situations. But you see the pictures and how long ago it was now, and how much time has moved on to things that have passed in the last sort of 15 years and the journey that you've taken. But love to go back and sort of relive it and experience it from a coach's point of view now. Obviously the World Cup win for the white ball team last year for England would have been something very, very close. So hopefully one day that I'll be involved with
good teams around, and you can enjoy those sort of memories.
It's great that you've got some recollections. I'm not sure Freddie Flintoff actually remembers too much of that evening. But let's look ahead to today's game. Somerset v Gloucestershire, local derby, always massive games. Gloucestershire been going well at the top of the group, joined up there with Northants, and obviously it was a disappointing loss against Worcestershire the other day. But where do you think the battle lies in today's game? What's going to be the key difference between the teams?
Well, they're going very well. They're going to be a tough challenge. In white ball cricket, they're always very competitive in any format that they play. We had a good game against them in the Championship, but obviously they're different kettle of fish in this. So, I think it relies more with us. If we can keep, believing in what we're trying to do, I do believe we could probably play better at the top. Sort of 5, 6, 7 overs. We've lost a few too many wickets in the last few games that we've played. You need batters in the top 5 scoring a decent score, somebody. So if we can sort of improve on that and get somebody getting a big score, then we'll be challenging with whoever we play. So whether it's Gloucester today or Glamorgan next week, so we'll see what happens.
Marcus Driscothic there speaking a little bit earlier on today, and while we were watching that, Jeremy Lloyds, the umpire here, is umpiring in his last game at Taunton, and there was a guard of honour from both sides, from Somerset and Gloucestershire, teams he used to represent when he was a player. So fantastic to see both teams giving their respects, and someone who's a very respected man in the game. Steve, he's someone who's been around for such a long time for these two sides.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a very much liked figure, as well as an excellent umpire, also former international umpire too. It's a huge pedigree in the game, and I spoke to him the other day, it's an interview, a feature we did, and he's very, very knowledgeable and very well connected with people in the local area, certainly with Taunton Rugby, as well as Gloucestershire cricket, Somerset cricket, Devon as well. So yeah, hugely respected figure and a very good tribute there.
Yeah, nice to see both sets of players maybe hoping they might get a bit of extra help from him. Probably not. Jeremy Lloyd's a very professional man, not going to be giving one side any advantage over the other. So it will be Somerset to start the bowling, as they have done in all the home games we've seen so far. It will be Max Waller starting from the river end. It's Ian Blackwell umpiring at that end, and Somerset here hoping to get off to a good start like they have done so far in all these games. That one is down the leg side, not a great start. 0 for 1. I beg your pardon, 1 for 0, the wrong way around. It's done the Australian way there. It is 1 for no loss. It's Hammond on strike. Waller in again, trying his first ball again. This one played out onto the leg side, a little clip into it, and there is just the 1 run from it.
Yeah, Waller just not a good start with that wide down the leg side, just doing a few loosening exercises as Ian Blackwell just adjusts the bails. He would have got a fair amount of banter, I would imagine, from Pakistan the other day. Ian Blackwell, he was certainly trending in Karachi for all the wrong reasons, but maybe we won't go into that today, as that's worked away by Hammond on the leg side. I jest because Babar Azam was given out first ball by Ian Blackwell, which kind of torpedoed Somerset's chances early on in that run chase against Worcestershire Rapids. But let's talk about happier things. The sun is out. What a setting here in Taunton as Hammond clips one off his legs for a single.
Yeah, looking good already here at Gloucestershire. Just playing it around for a few ones, as it is 4 for no loss. We're halfway through the first over. As Steve said, it is a glorious afternoon, a Sunday afternoon here in Taunton. Hello to wherever you're watching from, as Waller now comes around the wicket to Dent, and there is no run. It's well fielded by Babar Azam, and it's a dot ball, 4 for no loss. Somerset, who have taken a wicket in their first overs, the last couple of home games here, with Max Waller doing the business. We'll see if they can manage it again. It is Hammond on 2 and Dent on 1, who's on strike now. It'll be Waller to the left-hander, and it's a big attempted drive at that one, but in the end, no connection. Davies whips off the bails, but Dent was well in his crease, so no run there. The score is 4 for no loss, and Somerset keeping this one a little bit tight, considering we are in the power play. Just playing around with his field a little bit here to the left-hander, Chris Dent, as Lewis Gregory heads over towards the extra cover area. Waller over the wicket this time, played out into the leg side. It's well fielded by Babar Azam, and that, if it had been a direct hit, might have been interesting, as it was. A single was run. The score 5 for no loss after the first over, and that's good stuff from Max Waller. No boundaries in it.
strict by not going for them and also picking up wickets. That really hurts the batsman's chances of getting the score together. Somerset have picked up wickets throughout the competition in the young guys, which has also been productive in restricting oppositions and scores. Nobody's really gone big yet against Somerset. Fairly standard. Lewis Gregory is going to trust himself with the new ball today, and he's taken on captain's responsibilities.
Yeah, he's someone who backs himself nicely. He's done well so far, taking wickets in the games that we've seen here already. He's coming in from the Marcus Trescothick Pavilion end. This one is played out towards the mid-wicket area. It's going to go for the first boundary of the day, 25 pounds going to the Children's Hospice Southwest, and that is the first boundary that we've seen so far. So the score moves on to 9 for no loss. Lewis Gregory being taken for 4 off his first ball. You're watching a live stream here from Somerset County Cricket Club. We're with Trade Nation as well, bringing you this T20 group game in the Central Division. Somerset against Gloucestershire, these two old rivals, as Gregory's in again, and this one he'll defend off his own bowling. No run added, 9 for no loss. The score, blue skies here. It's a hot day considering we were shivering in the box, Steve and I, in the last T20 game, the Friday night ones, under the September evenings. It's much nicer today. Beautiful weather. The Quantocks bathed in sunshine as we look out over Taunton. Gregory continuing from the Trescothick Pavilion end. He's in now, and this one, nice drive here from Dent, and that is another 4 added. It's 13 for no loss. Lewis Gregory being sent for a few runs here. That was in a nice place for the batsman. So we'll just have another look at that now.
Excellent shot, wasn't it, down the ground from Dent. Authentic cover drive, just allowing the face of the bat to do all the work for him. Sometimes in T20 cricket in the power play, you don't have to overhit the ball, just caress it, just stroke it, make good contact. And Chris Dent showing why he played so fluently the other night, and this time he takes the aerial route, goes down he's up into the gantry near where we are. Ball just ricochets down off the Marcus Trescothick Pavilion stand. 6 runs to Dent. It was a length ball by Lewis Gregory. Again, he didn't look to overhit it, just struck through the line of the ball, and easy as you like, 6 runs. That's 50 quid to the Children's Hospice Southwest. Off the mark, aren't we, with those boundaries straight away?
Brilliant stuff to see that money already being built up. 19 for no loss. Not so great for Somerset to see 3 boundaries already, 2 4s and a 6 from this over. We've still got 2 balls left. It's the captain, Lewis Gregory, still coming over the wicket to Dent, who's flicked this one up in the air. Is it going to land safe? No, it's not. It's taken. Tom Abel taking that one low down, made a lot of ground to get there. It looked to me like it could just be one of those that looped up and landed safe, but no, Abel too quick for that one inside the 30-yard circles. We'll get a replay of that one, and Somerset making early inroads after those boundaries.
Yeah, superb catch, almost like Tony Hawk slide there, wasn't it? The skateboarder Tom Abel just running in and then just doing a little kind of alley-oop and then skidding across the turf. Very, very kind of nouveau Los Angeles skateboard on the boulevard there from Tom Abel, and then gave a little elbow high five just to kind of up the coolness of the catch as well, didn't he? But superb stuff from Lewis Gregory. What a comeback from that 6.
Just to confirm, he is still single, is he? After all of that, he's still single.
Still single, yeah, and also got a few kind of skateboarding moves as well. Look, absolutely rocking the LA vibe there from Tommy Abel. But yes, Somerset needed that wicket. Dent was looking dangerous from a cricketing perspective, not like he's from the mean streets of Bristol or anything like that. But yeah, he's playing some superb shots. But good wicket for Somerset, and Cobain's to the crease now to join Hammond, who's on strike as they've crossed, and Gregory just runs his fingers over the ball, slower ball into the wicket, pace off already, and that's the end of the over. It's 19-4-1 after 2.
Yeah, it's desperately needed that, really. Those 2 4s and a 6. He looked really devastating in those balls, hitting it cleanly. We saw the straight drive for 4, a lofted straight drive for 6. He looked in good shape there, did Chris Dent. So Somerset will be delighted. A huge wicket in the second over, getting rid of the dangerous Dent. 19-1 here at Taunton under these sunny blue skies. It'll be Josh Davey, who missed out on Friday, had a stomach bug. So clearly something, maybe one of those 24-hour things. He's back in the squad today.
Yeah, they call him the Slug, and he had maybe a little bit of worms in the tummy on Friday, Josh. He missed the game, but we won't get there. Some of you might be having your Sunday lunch at home while you're watching the stream. And actually, that reminds me, while we're thinking about the people watching at home, obviously use the hashtag again, stream in style, as Cobain faces his first ball and there's no run as he just chops it up to mid-wicket. But yeah, there's 150 quid in any currency on show from anywhere in the world, so send in your pictures of you streaming the game, hashtag stream in style. Make sure you follow Trade Nation. It's 150 quid in any currency. That's also 31,859 Pakistani rupees. So if you're trying to watch a bit of Babar Azam in Pakistan, I repeat, there's 31,859 Pakistani rupees up for grabs. Send in your hashtag streaming style. You can also win it if you're watching in Taunton. 150 quid. Absolutely priceless, that from Trade Nation. Well, it's not priceless, it's 150 quid. As Cobain drives to
price on it there.
As Cobain drives to Babar Azam and there's no run. Yeah, but you've got to follow Trade Nation, send in streaming style, hashtag streaming style. Yeah, win some cash. Also win a Babar Azam shirt as well. Some of you may like that more than 31,859 Pakistani rupees.
That's great knowledge there, Steve. Getting the rupees in as well.
Well, Trade Nation, the trading, I've been brushing up on my currency trading, you see, Charlie. As this is edged by Cobain, he flailed outside, off stump, Zorro-like with the sword, got the outside edge. Davis, at least 3 wicket keepers away from him, as we're going to see that on the screen. No chance for Davis, and 4 more runs takes the score to 23 for 1. We're in the 3rd over.
Yeah, it's the sort of ball where the bowler goes back to his mark thinking, if we'd had a slip in there. Early slip in, but there wasn't one there. 4 more runs, 25 more pounds for the Children's Hospice Southwest. It'll be Josh Davey continuing from the river end in the 3rd over of this game, and this time just played forwards in the onside from Ian Cobain, and just the single as it's picked up at long on, and the score moves on to 24 for 1 here.
Yeah, wicket's looking pretty good already. It's actually brilliant just to play an afternoon game, isn't it, Charlie? Also, the fact that we've been working 8 till 12, haven't we? Just getting ready for these games, and then the post review that Ben Warren and his team have with us. We're slaving away with our 14-hour days with this commentary. So brilliant to have an afternoon game. So not here under the lights till God knows when. Weather set absolutely superb here. Davies coming round the wicket to Hammond. Back of a length ball. Hammond's up on his toes, defends, and Abel does the fielding at cover. There is no run. Just to labour the point about hashtag streaming style. There's 150 quid in any currency up for grabs. You showing us your view, how you're watching the game, and also a Babar Azam signed shirt. But we're going to be reading some of your tweets out a little bit later.
Yeah, keep getting those tweets in. And, we'll be doing the same in the interval as well. Finding a winner of a 50-inch TV, the Thatchers and the pizza as well. If you've signed up for that one, make sure you answer your phone. And so Davies in, it's another edge. This time from Hammond, it goes down to the 3rd man boundary for 4. It's 28 for 1. Oh, Josh Davey, 2 edges. Had there been a slip fielder in, that might have been 2 catches. But,
no justice is there sometimes for the bowler. We've seen a couple of thickish outside edges, but we talked about Zorro earlier, and he was somebody who lived by the sword, and I don't think he died by the sword in the end, did he? But certainly Cobain and Hammond are both going that same way.
Testing my Zorro knowledge there, Steve.
Any other swashbuckling characters you can think of?
Hook, Captain Hook, and they had a sword fight, didn't they? Peter Pan and Hook.
To be fair, speaking of sledges, actually something quite fun. I'm glad you mentioned Captain Hook.
Oh, no.
So we were playing a game yesterday at Bedminster against Bath. We've got a lad who plays for Bedminster, Max Trifonos, and he's got a left hand, almost not quite like Maradona's left foot, but he's got a very, very good left hand. Anything to his right, he's terrible. So start calling him Captain Hook. He didn't quite understand it, and then I had to explain that he won the good hand.
Gregory's in. This one out towards the point area. It's going to be collected on the boundary by Roelof van der Merwe, and there's just a single added.
And I was trying to think during the game of other famous people that only got one good hand. So if anyone wants to think of anyone else, I can have some banter with them next week. Just use the hashtag #OneGoodHand and tag in any kind of.
Is he on Twitter? Can we tag him in?
Max Trifonos, tag him in as well. So I was having some good fun with that yesterday. But anyway, reminding me that Captain Hook, as Gregory is in again. I kind of lose my train of thought sometimes in these games. There's a good shot that from Hammond, chopped away backward of square. Fielder can't get a hand on it. Takes another boundary to Hammond. 33 4-1 in the fourth over here, Gloucestershire. Wicket's looking very good. Gregory looking to use his variations, but even with that, the ball is just sliding on to the bat, and Gloucestershire have hit quite a few boundaries already behind square, so it shows that the ball is moving laterally, either off the seam or gripping with those slower balls, but the run of the ball, the run of the green, is going with Gloucestershire thus far.
14 off his first over, Lewis Gregory. The expensive over. He did get the wicket though. He's in again around the wicket to the left-handed Hammond. There is no run that time, well fielded by Tom Abel. 33 for 1, as you say, those runs adding up nicely. Still got 2.5 overs left of the power play, so Gloucestershire looking good so far, just the one wicket down. Problem for Somerset has been when they've been batting is the early wickets. Yes, we know that Babar Azam has had 2 short innings here, but also other wickets falling as Gregory's in, and this one making space for himself, playing it out onto the offside this time, Hammond, and it's fielded by Azam. But that constant fall of wickets, apart from the Glamorgan game which Somerset won here, it's just been constant, isn't it? It just pegs Somerset back, it just slows the rate. Every time you lose a wicket, it just causes you to think twice before you play those risky shots.
Particularly losing Azam so early in both games. That's lose the world's number 2 T20 player. It's always going to be tricky. Another slow ball. This time, a big chance of a catch outside half again. Lammerby does the fielding at cover, throws the ball at the stumps. Abel backs up nicely. Again, the slow ball from Gregory finding outside half and the ball not going to hand. And lives to fight another day. Let's just talk a little bit about today. We've worked with our chosen charity today, Children's Hospice Southwest. We've got the tees up. Nobody's managed to hit one yet. Maybe we need to just incentivise the players a little bit more. Maybe get them to do a bit of practice prior to the game, trying to hit those boundaries. There's another Gregory slow ball, and Cobain can't time it. There's no run.
Are you any good at, if you were told to hit a target that big from a wicket that far away? Could you get near it, do you reckon?
To be fair, my golf's not too good, I don't think. But I'd have a go. I think it's easier when you know you're trying to hit it, when you've got all the fielders there trying to, you're actually playing in a professional game of cricket.
It's a bit different. Yeah.
Probably a little bit different. There's a good stat there. Lewis Gregory scored 347 runs with 24 wickets as captain for Somerset in the T20 Blast. Only 7 captains have scored as many runs and taken as many wickets as Gregory has in the competition. 7's quite a few, isn't it?
I guess depends. I guess that's going back to 2003 when they brought it in. So
okay, but I thought we were talking about just a little bit sooner. But I guess you're right. Lammerby into the attack, which is an early bowl for Tom Lammerby. Not too many in the power play, being entrusted with the 5th over, which is good to see. Obviously no Craig Overton tonight, adds an extra layer of responsibility to the Somerset seamers, and good to see Lammerby the change of angle. He's very adaptable cricketer, isn't he, Tom? Bats, bowls and fields well. Also, speaking of skateboarders earlier, he's got some flowing locks going on there, hasn't he, with the Alice band on as well. Very, very kind of almost rock star-esque, not quite Kurt Cobain, but it's very lolloping locks, isn't it?
I tell you what, Kurt Cobain was the one who came to mind when I saw the curtains which he's got going there. He kind of goes unnoticed a little bit because of Ollie Sale, with the hair we've been talking about. Ollie is playing today. He's got his long golden locks with a headband on. But yeah, Tom Lammerby certainly up there with the longer hair. Some of them, because you are allowed to go to barbers now, they can't use that excuse. So he's in now over the wicket to Hammond, who's playing this one out, pulling it onto the leg side. It's fielded on the boundary by Babar Azam, and there's just the 1 run added.
Yeah, it seems to come into fashion a bit, doesn't it? The John Bon Jovi look, which, again, whether 80s leather jackets are going to come back in with those as well. I'm not too sure, to be fair. As we see Ollie Sale on screen there, Wagner from X Factor, I think I mentioned the other day, also been known as Thor, Chris Hemsworth. Who else do we have? Bjorn Borg, Legolas from Lord of the Rings.
Better to be Thor than Wagner, isn't it?
Or just
be Thor.
Or just a plain comedy wig, as Lammerby is in again this time. Cobain slashes one through the offside. Bartlett can't get a mitt on it at cover, and it goes for another boundary. Good shot for Cobain. Bit of width on offer that time by Lammerby. Maybe I'm being a little bit unfair to him. Cobain actually created the width there just by stepping outside the line of the ball and crashing that one through the offside.
Are we talking about Kurt or Ian here?
Oh yeah, Kurt Cobain, Ian Cobain. I'm getting
so many Cobains on the show already.
Getting confused myself. Could be a no ball here as Bartlett trying to get back in the circle. And he just about makes it as Lammerby bowls a slower ball and Cobain can't time it.
Do you think there would be, as Bartlett was clearly running in to get there, do you think if a fielder is running that close, it's not like the side is trying to push the rules, trying to get it? Do you think the umpire would be a bit lenient and say, well, we're trying to get back, trying to get on with the game as well?
No, it'd be a no ball, definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's would be a fundamental error, so definitely be called a no ball, I'm sure. Certainly we saw the other night, didn't we? The umpires are on any marginal call, they're all over it.
So a bit of a swipe from Cobain there, and it's just a single as it goes straight to the fielder at mid-off. And there's 41 for 1 now. We're nearly at the end of the fifth over of this game. Gloucestershire going well. Somerset have managed to peg them back with just the 1 wicket they've taken so far, but at the moment you say Gloucestershire probably the happier of the two. Still very early days though, as Lammonby, the left armour, in over again, and this one pulled nicely out onto the leg side, and there's no chance that Babar Azam is going to collect that one. Another boundary. 45 for 1. Hammond onto 16. Cobain there on 11, and we're 5 overs in. We've got 1 over left of the power play, and Gloucestershire in a good position already here, Steve.
Yeah, just looking at the replay again, it's a great shot that from Hammond. Short ball by Lammonby, but Hammond stood really still and tall and crunched that away to the boundary boards. So yeah, I think both sides will be reasonably happy where they are. I think big last over of the power play, which Josh Davey is going to bowl. He's going to swap ends as Lewis Gregory and Davey look like they're discussing some tactics. But yeah, look, the conditions look absolutely perfect for batting. It's a wicket which screams runs to me.
Well, it's interesting. It's the same wicket. It's the hybrid wicket that we saw on Friday night, but both teams there only finishing in the 160s, which isn't a massive score in T20. Obviously, it's defendable, which is what Worcestershire proved, but certainly you wouldn't call it a run fest. 160 odd, playing 160 odd. So it's interesting to see how this plays. Exactly the same pitch. Maybe the daylight, maybe the middle of the day makes a difference.
I was about to say. I think I don't know what yesterday the groundsman where they had the wicket, I guess unmasked, not quite like the masked singer as Cobain drives to George Bartlett, whether they had it uncovered and the sunlight on it. And again, just when we arrived today, the covers haven't been on it, so actually getting some heat into it might have just been, when I did the pitch report, actually did feel harder than the other day, so potentially there could be a little bit more pace in it, I think, and it's been evident by some of the shots that have been played off the back foot by Gloucestershire thus far. Josh Davey, dot ball off the first ball of the over. He's in to Ian Cobain. Cobain gives himself some swats it down the ground. Waller's in chance of a 6 catch, just not. It's gone for 6. Almost a tennis shot that from Cobain. He backed away and just boshed it over long on. Max Waller couldn't quite gain the elevation he needed to make that into a chance. As we see again, Cobain keeps his hands high and just swats it down the ground, almost like an overhead serve. And the boundaries aren't too big here at Taunton, almost 60 yards or so. 6 more to Gloucestershire and 50 quid more to Children's Hospice Southwest, courtesy of our streaming partners Trade Nation. Check them out, by the way, online. Go and have a look at their website, as Davey is in again, and this time short ball into the surface, but Azam is going to do the fielding and throws the ball into the surface. Just 1 more run to Cobain.
Yeah, that 6 also bringing up the 50 for Gloucestershire, so they're going really well here, as we've got 3 balls left of the power play. 52 for 1 the score now, and Somerset are desperate just to nick one of these out. They're getting going now, both of them looking pretty strong. They're going to change his action here and come around the wicket to the left-handed Hammond. It's 52 for 1. Blue skies. It's a lovely day. Hopefully we'll see some of these Trade Nation tees get hit. 250 quid straight away for charity when they do get hit. This one comes into the wicket. Big appeal. Jeremy Lloyd's not interested. Dot ball is the result. 52 for 1.
Yeah, hopefully Jeremy Lloyd hasn't got any tears in his eyes from that kind of little walk-on he had, which was a brilliant gesture, wasn't it, by Somerset County Cricket Club and both sides, as we see that from Dave. It looked close, but looked a bit high, and I think if the ball's just going over the stumps, Charlie, it's fair enough, isn't it, to be given that not out. The benefit of the doubt has to go to the batsman.
Can't argue with that, Steve. It's something that has been going on for many years in the game, as this one's a little bit fuller that time, and there's an edge, and the attempted run out. I was quick there, was Hammond off the mark, and Cobain coming back as well to the danger end, doing well, running well, these two. 53 for 1. This has been a good over from Josh Davey so far.
Send us your tweets, hashtag benefit of the doubt, as we see a bit of an Ollie Sale video there. Absolutely, I enjoyed this one. Bit of bounce on on Ollie Sale. That's my favourite one, Chris Hemsworth. And I think Ollie quite likes that comparison as well, the hedgehog Gareth Bale. As Josh Davey, fresh from that shout, comes back over the wicket to Ian Cobain, who stands hands tall high and drives to the offsides ball straight to Roelof van der Merwe, looking to take advantage of this power play. There's no run. That's the end of the power play. 53 for 1, on as even, I think, as far as that is concerned. I think Gloucestershire will be happy that it's a decent platform to push on. They only lost 1 wicket, and Somerset will be happy that they have managed to restrict. It looks like one of those sanitised breaks, which I guess are necessary. Now I'm going to go through a few tweets as we do this, the stream in style. So what have we got? Watching live on your YouTube channel from Palmer, Kashmir, says Bazit, I've been supporting you since last year when Babar Azam was inducted into the squad. Amir says must-win game, hoping that Babar and co will win it for us today. Go on, boys. At Somerset CC, it's Trade Nation. Peter Wanless, ready for a run whilst watching Somerset CC. Hashtag stream in style, hashtag it's Trade Nation. Signet Travel, beautiful day for it at Taunton. Abby Slade, no cider today with a cup of tea and the iPad watching the cricket. Hopefully you're enjoying it.
Sunny
Abby.
Sunday, no cider.
No cider on a Sunday. Joseph Edwards, where better to stream in style than at Catford Cypher's Sunday game. Cheers to Somerset CC and its Trade Nation. Hallelujah. Fun fact that this photo is 90% unedited. I just like that one on the Somerset Twitter account. Also Philip Newman Hall, Babar Azam looking very cool fielding. I wonder how many fans from Pakistan watch the live stream to watch him. Yeah, it's a good question. I know that we had about 750,000 views the other day, mostly because due to the quality of Charlie Taylor's commentary.
And your chinos.
And my chinos, of course. Robert Rugman watching from his balcony hitting, I can't even pronounce that, but it's somewhere in Greece, 30 degrees, and we may have to move into the shade shortly. Well, I will tell you, Robert, it's about that here at Taunton, down at Pitchside. It is absolutely roasting here as Van der Merwe is in. Just played off the stumps there from Hammond. He would have been gone for all money had that hit his pad, but such is the game of cricket. It's a single to his name.
What I love with Roelof van der Merwe watching him is he wants to take a wicket every ball. He's hands on head or shouting catcher, even if it's along the ground. He wants a wicket every single ball. He's an attacking player. Is Van der Merwe great to have on your side as a T20 team. Brings you skills with the bat and probably more importantly actually with the ball in the way the team is currently set up. He's around the wicket again to Cobain, who does push this one out into the offside, and they'll pick up a single.
He does everything at 100%, Roelof van der Merwe, running, cricket, bowling, drinking. If he's having a drink, he's doing it at
barbecues. He likes
barbecues. Also, you think if he was making some Lego, he'd be ridiculously competitive with his children. He'd want to build a bigger Lego house than they've got. I'm sure he's a great father, by the way.
Good little disclaimer there. It's a reverse sweep this time, and that one is going to go all the way. Nice looking shot that from Miles Hammond, who moves to 24. The score 61 for 1. Nice pickup.
Yeah, what a shot that from Hammond. We're going to have a look at the replay in a second, but yeah, just changed his hands and just hit the ball just over backward point for 6. Superb shot. Good technique as well, using the face of the bat particularly effectively. Van der Merwe again, this time Hammond, a bit more of a conventional shot out to Babar Azam at deep wicket. Just a reminder, those streaming style videos or photos you've just shown us, it's £150 in any currency for the best one. Make sure you follow Trade Nation, use the hashtag streaming style, or as I mentioned earlier, 31,859 Pakistani rupees.
You're so proud of that, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my stat out there for everyone to hear. I don't know what it works out in French francs. That's euros these days, isn't it? Or
showing your age there,
pesos, pesos. And other currency denomination we can think of. I think I'm showing my my cultural limitations, I think, here.
We're going to show you the winner from last week in a moment, just to give you an idea of the sorts of things we're looking for here.
Charlie Taylor will let us know how many American dollars £150 is as well. That's an easier one, surely.
Van der Merwe in this one again off the stumps by the looks of it. Roelof van der Merwe was interested, but he's played it into the leg side nicely there, and it's just a single added. 64 for 1. Hammond on 26, Cobain on 20. There we go. That's one of our winners, enjoying streaming even whilst cleaning his teeth. Great work. It's the sort of thing we love to see. Not being able to put down the stream even for a second, and there, look, getting the furry friends involved too. So if you can do that, those are our 2 winners from Friday night. That was only a couple of nights ago. then get involved with us. Hashtag streaming style. Make sure you follow It's Trade Nation. Tag them in it, and also tag Somerset CCC, and we'll be looking at all of those and choosing a winner of the £150 cash prize or equivalent, and the Babar Azam shirt as well. Great stuff.
Feel free to tag in Charlie Taylor as well. Charlie Taylor 4. Charlie Taylor 4. Snelly83 on Twitter. Tag us in as well. Far more chance of winning. Charlie Taylor is so influential in this competition. He's the brains behind it. I jest, but Trade Nation will be picking the winner, so you can't really influence Charlie or myself. But we like looking at it as Max Waller hits Hammond on the pad, and there is no run. Exciting stuff here at the Cooper Associates County Ground. This live stream brought to you in conjunction with Trade Nation. Steve Snell and Charlie Taylor absolutely loving the cricket here. We're sorry that you can't be with us, but glad that you can at least watch it, as this time Hammond is on the back foot, takes him on to 27. He's actually playing quite fluently here. Cobain probably less pleasing on the eye, but brutal nonetheless. He's on 20 off 15. Just a reminder, Somerset won the toss and decided to chase. They decided to bowl, really. I think chase is actually something you can decide to do, but they decided to bowl, which I think was a little bit surprising, having not chased to win the game in the last 2 occasions, as Cobain is down the track and hits Waller hard. Tom Abel is going to do the fielding in front of us, and that's just a single. But what were your thoughts, Charlie? You must once bitten, twice shy, 3 times. Is that foolhardy?
Well, I think the chase is what they're thinking about. I know you said you don't choose to chase, you choose to bowl, but actually I think that's probably what Lewis Gregory is thinking about. This one dragged down a little bit from Max Waller. It's going to be caught on the boundary. Nicely played. And that is a great wicket. Max Waller picking up another one. Really good work. I think it's Bartlett perhaps on the boundary catching that one. Let's have another look at that. Just pulled, didn't get all of it. It was a bit of a drag down from Waller, and didn't get all of it at all. Just being caught on the boundary. Nice looking catch, bit of a diving one. And Somerset have picked up another wicket here. 66 for 2. Great time to get that wicket, as you were saying. They're looking to score quickly, these two. So Somerset doing nicely. Yeah, absolutely. Hammond was playing really well there, actually looking particularly threatening. I spoke the other night, I was surprised in terms of Worcestershire. They didn't go to the reverse sweep early against the spinners, which enabled Somerset to have more men in front of the bat, protecting the singles as well. And you've seen Hammond already change his hands and hit a 6. I think Waller or Van der Merwe over backward point. Again, a bit of a drag down for Waller. Hammond couldn't time it, and Bartlett, who's back in the side, Eddie Barham left out today. But yeah, Bartlett taking the catch, and I'm sure that will give him a little bit of confidence. Taking a catch is one of the best things, isn't it, in cricket, because you don't know the ball's going to come to you. You don't know it. And then you take that, your ball's up in the air, you know it's the attention. Where's this going? No. The attention is this a cue to play that VT from Charlie Taylor? I know what you're planning, you lot behind the scenes. Is this but the attention is on you. You get that palpitation in terms of, I need to catch this, because you don't want to let anybody down. And if you do let somebody down, you do drop a catch, as this time Cobain drives down the ground. Should just be a single, as Davies, quick Scottish international, does the fielding. When you do drop a catch, it's the worst feeling. You feel like you've let everybody down. It's like it's like your parents saying to you, we're not angry, we're just disappointed, in terms of when you behave badly as a child. It's even worse, isn't it? Letting your teammates down. But fortunately, George managed to catch that one. But you mentioned something there, Charlie, actually, regarding your catching. Yeah. And I've been thinking, we need to do something about this. We need to, we can't just keep talking about it and not actually work on it. So, here we go. Here's Charlie dropping one. It doesn't show the full story. But I reckon what we should do, I don't know what people at home think about this. On Friday, let's get the Somerset fielding coach, Paul Tweddle, hitting a few hangers. Let's get Charlie Taylor on the boundary doing a bit of work on his fielding. I think we can tee that up. I don't know what the guys next door think. I don't know what you think at home about that. Hashtag Charlie's catching. Let's get a bit of a video going regarding that. I've seen how high they're in the training. They really do slam those as high as they can. Probably as high as some of the floodlights here at Taunton. That is, about 50 metres high, something like that? There's no way I'm catching any of those, Snelly. I think the people want to see it. Let's tee that up. Tom Abel into the attack, and he's worked off his legs as Higgins is off the mark first ball. But yeah, I think I'll have a word with Paul Tweddle. Let's get that going. Hashtag Charlie's catching. We'll get it going on Friday ahead of the game. Maybe get to the ground a bit early, Charlie. You might even make one of our production meetings on time. Can't believe that. I've just been absolutely set up
back here, 69 for 2, Gloucestershire, Tom Abel. Slightly wide of the crease that time. It's a really good shot by Ian Cobain, using the width that Tom Abel offered, and just in between the man at backward point and short third man. He's got a T20 style field with everyone on the leg side back on the boundary, bar short fine leg. That means third man's in the circle, and Ian Cobain expertly using his hands there just to slice that to the third man boundary.
You're not getting away with that. Don't think you're getting away with that, Stelly. You can't just set me up live like that where I've got no opportunity to politely decline. We've got to think up something for you as well. So maybe get you in the nets facing some of the fast ones.
I'll put it out there. If we see you under the high ball, I will do whatever.
Here we go.
I'll get in there.
All right. We'll get Ollie Sale full pace against Steve Snell. If I'm going to do some catching, this is a full toss, no ball given. I think that's on height as the boundary fielders converge to throw that in. It's a one run there. They've run the single, but that one too high from Tom Abel, given as a no ball.
Free hit as well, which Higgins, having faced only a couple of deliveries, it's Christmas has come at once, isn't it, when you get a free hit early in your innings just to get you going. I'm sure he'll be looking to kind of target that mid-wicket region as well, as Tom Abel just decides what he's going to bowl. He's into Higgins, who's going to look to do something explosive for sure, and I think it's going to wide down the leg, so it's another no ball. Tom Abel could find himself out of the attack here. It's another beamer. That's not good news for Somerset or Tom Abel. I don't know how many ones you can bowl. It looks like Ollie Sale's going to be given the ball. It's extraordinary scenes that. Tom Abel's has been removed from the attack. He's bowled 2 beamers in 2 balls. It's another free hit. That's another 2 runs to the total, and Tom Abel's out the attack.
Yeah, he'll be absolutely gutted with that. Someone who takes his game so seriously, including his bowling. He's someone who bowls a lot in red ball cricket. First time we've seen him at home in T20s this year with the ball, and that has absolutely not gone to plan. He's only bowled 2 legal deliveries, 2 beamers, and it will be Ollie Sale who will have to finish this off. And what that means is that Ollie Sale will have 0.4 here, so 4 balls, which means he won't be able to bowl 4 overs if that was the plan there. It completely changes the game now. Tom Abel only managing 2 legal deliveries in this match. He's been taken out of the attack after 2 beamers, i.e. the ball is bowled without bouncing and gets to the batsman above his waist height. It's deemed a dangerous delivery, which is why you're not allowed to bowl them. So 2 of those and you're out of the attack. It'll be Ollie Sale to finish off this over. That one is not going to be a no ball. It's been hooked around onto the boundary. It's going all the way and it's hit the Trade Nation tee. We've got 250 quid straight away to the Children's Hospice Southwest. We wondered when that was going to happen, Steve. Let's watch that again. 250 quid straight away. Ollie Sale in. It's his first ball. Swiped across the line. It's not a great looking shot. It does bounce beyond the boundary and hits the board. 250
you say
quid.
Trade, I say Nation. Absolutely. The Nation were behind that ball, weren't they? 250 quid to Children's Hospice Southwest. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, Ian Cobain. Awesome stuff.
As Sale is in again, and this one is going to go out the other side, and that's 2 sixes in a row. This is a terrible over if you combine Abel and Sale together here. 2 sixes. We've had 2 no balls on height. Not going well for Somerset. There's 91 for 2. The score has raced up in this over.
Yeah, the ship is leaking here, isn't it? There's people kind of with buckets just trying to get the water and just make sure that people are safe and people aren't drowning here. But yeah, man overboard is the shout almost here. What an over this has been for Gloucestershire, and a terrible one for Somerset. That looks like it's been another 6 Trade Nation board. Oh, 250 quid. Ian Cobain, oh my goodness me, 250 quid for charity. That's 500 quid for the Children's Hospice Southwest. It's not been a great over for Somerset, but it's been a hell of an over for charity.
London buses here at Taunton. You wait for 3 games, you get none hitting, and then 2 in an over. Oh, I mean, it's not great for Somerset. 3 sixes in a row. Ollie Sale going the distance here. He's not had a great time actually in the last few games, Ollie Sale. He's been hit for quite a few runs, but 500 quid for charity. It's that same Trade Nation board. Will he try and target it again? Great news for charity. 500 quid. Here comes Ollie Sale, and this one is along the floor. It'll only be a single. Ollie Sale finishing off that Tom Abel over. That has been an expensive over for Somerset. It's 9 overs gone. Gloucestershire 98 for 2. We've seen 3 sixes in an over. 500 quid added for charity.
Well, it was 30 runs. There's almost as many runs off that over as much money as Trade Nation are donating to Children's Hospice Southwest there. Oh my goodness me, what an over. And Lewis Gregory will be absolutely fuming because Somerset were going okay there, and the momentum and the impetus and the standing of the game has been taken over by Gloucestershire. But every cloud of silver lining, as we've said, loads of money donated to charity, but yeah, not a good over for Ollie Sale or Tom Abel.
30 runs, that is absolutely huge. And to think that Lewis Gregory decided he wanted Tom Abel to bowl that over, ended up with 3 sixes in a row from Ollie Sale. Not at all what Somerset wanted. It makes a bit of confusion of the bowling lineup, as I said. So Sale is on 0.4 overs now, and you can only bowl 4 maximum. So he'll only be able to bowl another 3, so won't get his full amount of overs in. It'll be Roelof van der Merwe. Now what Somerset need to do here is rapidly stem the flow of the runs. Let's see what van der Merwe can do around the wicket. A lofted drive shot here, just nice checked drive, just taking it over the infield, and that'll be a couple of runs to the total. So that brings the 100 up for Gloucestershire. 100 for 2 after 9.1 overs. Things going very nicely for Gloucestershire here.
Yeah, I'm just chuckling because somebody sent me a Captain Hook gif for that Max Trivenos. I just meant it's actually his dad who sent me that, who's chuckling away, which is quite funny. As this time van der Merwe spears in a leg side 4 toss, and Cobain works one down the ground. He takes him on to 49, just off 25 deliveries. It was all quiet in the wood and in the hood, and then Ian Cobain has just gone absolutely ballistic here, taking the attack to Somerset, and he's played a wonderful hand. 100 up in the 10th over.
Yeah.
It's looking like a huge score for Gloucestershire, as this time it's swept into the leg side. It's going to be 6 this time to Ryan Higgins. That's into the car park and bouncing off towards the Prior Bridge Road gate. Another huge 6, this time Higgins giving some pain to Somerset, and the wheels are coming off here.
Yeah, and this is what we said about having runs on the board. Gloucestershire, if it continues like this, well, they're easily targeting 200 plus at the moment already. Not even halfway through the overs, they've got the 100 on the board. So this is a big innings from Gloucestershire if things continue. Somerset need wickets to stop this from going the way that it is. Thank you to Imi, who has tagged me in the photo, managed to take a screenshot of the dropped catch. So that's fantastic. That's now doing the rounds on Twitter. Thank you, Imi Speaks. Thank you to Abby as well. I think I called George Bartlett taking the catch. Actually, it is out of where I can see of the pitch here. It was actually Lammonby taking the catch from the Max Waller over that we saw before this carnage took place. Charlie Taylor and Steve Snell together, and they've just had to check the ball there. I think it hit some of the fencing, maybe he's not one of the advertising boards there, so just checking that a chunk hasn't been taken out of it. I think they're happy to continue. Jeremy Lloyd's in his last game officiating at Taunton, taking a look at it. Roelof van der Merwe will continue, and Gloucestershire, who are flying at the moment, as Roelof van der Merwe is in around the wicket. This one full toss, played out into the leg side, and it's just the single added as Lammonby does the fielding there. It's 100. Well, the score says 102 for 2. I think it's more than that here. I think that they haven't added on the 6 yet, so we'll wait to see. I think it might be 108 for 2. Roelof van der Merwe waiting to come around the wicket again, this time to Cobain, who plays this one back down the pitch, and there's just the single as Tom Abel comes in and does the fielding. Yeah, there we go, 109 for 2. The score added on, and Cobain's 50 now registered on the scoreboard, which is why you heard that little round of applause there from the Gloucestershire contingent.
Just 26 deliveries there from Cobain. 50, that's hit and run. It's not sure it's going to be out. The finger is up with Jeremy Lloyd's. He was escorted. He had a guard of honour on his way in today, Jeremy Lloyd's. He's doing what he does best there and lifting that finger and giving Ryan Higgins out. And it was a wicket that Somerset very badly needed. We mentioned that there were leaking, the ship was sinking to a certain extent, but wow, absolutely crucial wicket there. Some of those holes in the boat being plugged this over at least. Great wicket from Roelof van der Merwe, 109 for 3. Somerset very much needed that one.
They certainly did. 109 for 3, and we're exactly halfway through the overs now, and there goes what has been an entertaining innings. A really good fun to watch, especially if you're a Gloucestershire fan. Lots going on in that one. But will Somerset recover? When you see an over go for 30 runs, it's when you see the worms or the tower block, they call it the skyline, don't they? As you see the each over and how much it's worth. 30 is a big amount. Can Somerset claw it back from there? You don't often see overs going for more than the 20s. Quick look at Roelof van der Merwe there. He's played 232 matches, taken 3 wickets. He's the most experienced player in this format currently in the Somerset squad.
Yeah, it's like kind of, have the Manhattan graphs. It's like going from Amsterdam to the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, wasn't it? In terms of the difference in scale, in terms of going for an over at 30. That was extraordinary, really.
Oh, what a catch! What a catch from Lewis Gregory. That was played out into the leg side. I thought that was going to sail past him, but the captain making a dive low to his right, one-handed. That is a spectacular catch. And that is the end of Cobain as well. 2 wickets in quick succession here, and Somerset might just be wrestling back control.
Well, club cricketers all over the world will call that a bang-bang, Charlie, wouldn't they? 2 wickets and a couple of balls, much needed as well. We said that Somerset needed to claw their way back into this game somehow after that Burj Khalifa of an over from Ollie Sale and Tom Abel. But wowee, what a catch that was, just diving away to his right-hand side. The captain showing the way, leading by example, and showing his charges what can be done. Superb movement from Gregory, but a crucial wicket in the scale of this game.
The reaction time on that is spectacular. He's not, he's in the 30-yard circle, but he's not on the edge of it. He's really close in, and that wasn't a slow shot.
Ben Warren must have a reaction cam, surely. He's got a drone cam, he's got slow-mo cam. He must have a reaction time cam by now.
Well, that was very, very quick. And to get into that position, the one-handed, and it just stuck, didn't it? Sometimes you see they go in and come back out. This one really stuck as Waller's in again over the wicket. This one played out again to Lewis Gregory, and he's bringing his team back into it here. 109 for 4, and 2 batsmen at the crease now. Bracey and Taylor, the captain, yet to score a run. So good stuff now from Somerset. This one was down the leg side, giving us a wide. That'll take them to 110 for 4.
Just showing some of the gifts that are coming in from Charlie about the captain hook. Use the hashtag captain hook if you can think of any other people just with one good hand in the field, as opposed to people who are left-handed or right-handed, but absolutely terrible diving away to their weaker hand. As I mentioned, one of the guys at my club, Max Trifonos, calling him captain hook because he's only got one good hand. But feel free to use the hashtag captain hook, hashtag one good hand, and tag in your people who are only good at diving well to one side. But Lewis Gregory, he's certainly good diving to his right hand side. That was unbelievable catch to a hard hit shot by Ian Cobain, who was a danger man for Gloucestershire there. 50 off 27 deliveries, and looked like he was going to book in for not only bed and breakfast, he had £500 to charity he'd hit as well, hitting that Trade Nation board twice. But Somerset certainly pleased to see the back of him as Max Waller bowls a full-length delivery. James Bracey, who was with the England squad during the Test series, I'm sure he would have been pleased to come out of that bowl, having not played any cricket within it, but great experience, I'm sure, for the young man nonetheless. The lad from Winterbourne hits it to Lewis Gregory at cover as well. He's the magnet in there, Lewis Gregory, the Somerset captain at the moment. Bracey has gone as well. He's gone for a duck. Somerset are on fire here. Oh my goodness me, that over of 30, it has spurred something on in Somerset. Maybe just thinking they need to wake up here, and 3 wickets for not many runs. Score takes on to 111 for 4.
Well, just to confirm there, Somerset have managed to get Gloucestershire from 109 for 2 to 111 for 5. So they've lost 3 wickets for 2 runs here, and Gloucestershire, who were, like you say, well on top, 30 runs in an over, absolutely flying. Gloucestershire now getting down towards the lower middle order. Somerset here with a good 9 and a bit overs to go can really turn the screw.
Absolutely. Lewis Gregory, two good hands there. Superb catch by Lewis Gregory. We go live to the drone cam. We've got some shots of the Cooper Associates county ground in Taunton. Superb shots here. We can just looking over the back of the Colin Atkinson pavilion, so Ian Botham standing. You could just see the River Tone in. They've got a few cricket balls certainly in there, I should imagine. I still remember Chris Gale hitting that ball in there, and that bloke going in there and diving in to get it, and getting it signed by Chris Gale. Hopefully that chap who did it didn't suffer from any kind of waterborne poisoning. I'm not sure I'd want to be diving in the River Tone, even if there was kind of buried treasure in there, as Max Waller is looking on the hunt for another wicket, and bowls hits him on the pad. Ian Blackwell gives it not out. Oh my goodness me, George Scott hit on the top of the pad. Hit on the top of the pad. It looked very adjacent as well. We know from that end it may not go over. We've seen on the last couple of games here that ball shouldn't be bouncing over the stump. Oh my goodness me.
Oh dear.
My goodness
I
me.
tell you what, Waller is unlucky not to have another wicket to his name. There could have been 3 and an over.
Oh my days.
Wow.
Oh.
That looked close. Somerset on top here. Batsman unable to get runs from Waller. What a great over that was. 2 wickets. There was a third as well from Roelof van der Merwe just before that one took place. But
can we see another replay of that, Ben? If you can have another look at that. I mean, that looked extraordinarily close. Hard to see what was wrong with that. But I tell you what, while I'm a kind of fairly average failed cricketer, probably my eyes weren't good enough to see what has been seen as Van der Merwe is it again. And Somerset really turning the screw here. This is a strange old game. It's 111 for 5. We're in the 12th over. Topsy-turvy game here with runs, wickets, charity donations. It's all happening as a great commentator once said, and I'll try and paraphrase him as Van der Merwe gets worked out. The tension, the buzz, the thrill, the atmosphere, it's all happening here, Charlie.
It really is. We were talking about Gloucestershire aiming for well over 200 at one point. They were 100 odd for 2 with 9 and a bit overs gone. 112 for 5 now. And Somerset, what they've got to do is keep these 2 under control, take more wickets. If they can get another 1 or 2 here, and they really are into that lower order with Gloucestershire. It's Van der Merwe in this one, played nicely, waited for it a little bit there, and it's gone out into the offside where it's just the 1 run. It's George Bartlett doing the fielding on the boundary. So 113 for 5. Somerset with their heads held high after what looked like could have been easier after 30 runs from that over. Bowled both by Tom Abel and Ollie Sale in 1 over. Could have been easy for them to lose their heads a bit, perhaps lose their state of mind, and that is a dot ball there. 113 for 5 it remains. But straight away, it was the next over. First wicket went, and then 2 in the following over after that. Roelof van der Merwe doing a good job here. It's spin. It's taking the last 3 wickets, and he comes again. And this one played out backwards of square on the offside, and there's no run there. And the score stays at 113 for 5. This is great work from Somerset, not just taking wickets, but stemming the flow of runs. Exactly what we said needed to happen in these crucial middle overs. 1 ball left in the 12th over here. Charlie Taylor and Steve Snell with you on this live commentary, brought to you with Somerset County Cricket Club and Trade Nation. Van der Merwe around the wicket bowls, and this one just played back to the bowler who steps over it. They'll come through for a single because of that. Van der Merwe will be cross, having let a single out, but in the end, another good over. 114 for 5, and there's 8 overs left here in Taunton after what has been a collapse of wickets. Now we've had a quiet over, not many runs and no wickets.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a crazy few overs there. Roelof van der Merwe just almost that ball was coming too slowly to him. I was just reading a tweet actually from somebody who mentioned that it's the best fielding performance they've seen from Somerset since 2003 in terms of not necessarily from a bowling execution perspective, purely fielding. And then Roelof van der Merwe just kind of let that one through his hands, unfortunately. But yeah, we see some great shots of the Quantock, some clear blue skies, with all the government's quarantine rules and the rest of it. Why would you want to be anywhere else than in Somerset today? What a glorious part of the world. And we're seeing some superb cricket as well from both sides in this local derby. Gloucestershire 114 for 5 after 12 overs. It certainly has been all action. Gloucestershire have come hard at Somerset, and but Somerset have clawed their way back into the game. It looked like a score of 220, 230 was possible at one stage, but those wickets and those catches from Lewis Gregory at short mid-wicket has certainly ensured the damage has been minimised for the time being. Ollie Sale is back into the attack. His bowling analysis so far, 0.4 balls for 19, so not exactly where he would want to be.
They've stuck with him, Somerset, here. He's not had a brilliant few games. He's gone for a lot of runs. He's in again this time. Clipped onto the leg side. This will be at least a single. They'll stick with 1. I just want to clarify something which has been flagged up. I mentioned it was Bartlett who took a catch on the boundary. It was Bartlett. There was some confusion over whether it's Lammonby, some website reporting that, but just to confirm, it was Bartlett. Should have backed myself. It was Bartlett taking the catch on the boundary, not Lammonby, just to clear that up for those who keep a score of these sorts of things.
Yeah, definitely George Bartlett. He's a very distinctive mover, George. He's a shuffler, how he moves. As we see here, in terms of Ollie Sale bowls a short ball to George Scott. He's up on his toes. and he just works it away for a single. Ollie Sale just scratching away at the foot marks there, and Somerset just tossing the ball around the field. 116 for 5, 12.2 overs gone. Somerset just coming back into the game here, a bit more noise, a bit more energy, a bit more verve.
Yeah, Ollie Sale coming back in with a headband, blonde locks running behind him. He's in now. This one driven out through the covers, and that'll just be a single. So doing well here to keep these batsmen under control. Scott and Taylor at the crease, and those runs just a bit more difficult to come by for Gloucestershire now. And we have seen, for those who are just joining us, we have seen £500 given to charity already, just from the same board, actually, the same Trade Nation board getting hit twice in 1 over from Cobain as Sale is in again. This one is edgy, back towards third man, a wide third man as Josh Davey does the fielding. And just the single added, 118 for 5, the score here at Taunton. We're in the 13th over. And there's the board that we saw hit twice in 1 over, having waited for 3 games without seeing them hit. There we got twice in 1 over here. Wonder if we'll see any more. £250 to Children's Hospice South West whenever they get hit. Could be a big amount today. I'm thinking 4s and 6s raining to start off with as Ollie sails in from the river end again. And this one on the pads here to Taylor. No run. And this one much better over than what we saw previously, as we said. 4 balls as he was finishing off Tom Abel's over, went for 19, so not looking good on the economy rate there, but Ollie Sale doing better this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Those boards, those Trade Nation boards, we want a few dents in them, don't we? You know, we don't want them looking pristine. We want us looking at some kind of war-torn, ravaged building by the end of this T20 competition, with lots of money being donated to charities. Ollie Sale comes in again, and Jack Taylor, who isn't the prettiest of batters, but he certainly is effective, and he's hobbling a bit now because that's absolutely just clunked into his knee there. Ollie Sale just spearing in a hard and fast ball, and that's one of the worst feelings as a batsman, when you get whacked on the inside of the knee or the calf. Just feels horrible.
Ouch. Let's take a look at what happened earlier in the over, because we saw, this was earlier in the game, one of the Trade Nation tees getting peppered twice in 1 over, 250 quid each time for charity. Delivery, which is why you're not allowed to bowl them. So 2 of those and you're out of the attack. It'll be Ollie Sale to finish off this over. That one is not going to be a no ball. It's been hooked around onto the boundary. It's going all the way, and it's hit the Trade Nation tee. We've got 250 quid. I was getting quite excited, as you can imagine, as Max Waller this time is into the attack, played out on the offside, and it'll be picked up by the boundary, not cleanly though, by Bartlett, who does in fact just manage to get it in before the second run comes through. So a little bit sloppy on the boundary there from Bartlett, but in the end not costing any runs. But yeah, that's the first time we saw those Trade Nation tees getting hit, so as you get quite exciting. It was hit again within that over as Waller's in again. This one, a straightish looking ball, rolling his fingers on the top of it, I think, and the ball comes straight back to him. 119 for 5. The runs here much harder for Gloucestershire to find. He's in again, is Wallow. This one cut out towards point, and Bartlett again will do the fielding on the boundary. Much cleaner pick up this time. 1 run added.
Going very slowly here, Max Waller. Almost looks so slow. It's hard to get any impetus into the strokes for the batsman. It's just kind of, the ball's just kind of lolloping down there, and it looks very difficult with the ball just back of a length actually to obtain any force. As this time it's a reverse sweep just from George Scott, which actually transferred from Middlesex at the start of this season to Gloucestershire, and he's still looking to kind of make his mark in Gloucestershire colours. But yeah, Waller bowling very slowly, taking all the pace off the ball. We know that Jack Taylor's likely to come very hard and look to come down the pitch, you'd suggest to Max Waller. Lots of tweets from Somerset fans in particular, amazed at the level of comeback here from Somerset, who are really staring down the barrel. 121 for 5. We're coming near the end of the 14th over. It's a quicker ball this time from Max Waller, just released out the front of the hand towards Jack Taylor's leg stump, and it's just a single. This has been a good over so far for Max Waller, whose bowling analysis is quite ridiculous. 3 for 15, and this is his last ball in his spell. Bearing in mind some of the damage that has gone on at the other end, it's been quite an effort and absolute necessity from Max Waller to keep Somerset and to apply the brakes for Gloucestershire. It's a reverse sweep this time. Waller's going to go for a boundary. I think it's stopped by George Bartlett brilliantly on the outfield, just with a back flick, superb fielding from Bartlett. He's only going to save a single as Scott comes back for a third run. It was an excellent shot that by Scott, but brilliant fielding by George Bartlett. Max Waller's work for the day is done, and it's a superb piece of bowling. 3 for 18 off 4. He's done a hell of a job this afternoon.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Going at less than 5 and over and taking those 3 wickets in what is proving to be a fairly high scoring game. I think that's very good work from Max Waller, who is typically excellent, wearing a Somerset shirt and doing a great job for his county. You can see there the batting cards so far for Somerset and Gloucestershire as they take on each other in this cider derby. Thank you to Bryn, who's been in touch. He says great coverage from Somerset. Good to see that the emergency brakes have been applied. Bryn's a listener to my radio show as well, so I can confirm for your daughter Bryn that it is the very same Charlie Taylor doing the commentary of the cricket as well as the radio show. I'll be back on tomorrow night on Radio Somerset, as it will be Josh Davey from the River End coming over the wickets now. The dependable Josh Davey played out into the leg side. I think about 2 here. I think they in the end just run the 1 and they get away with that a bit. The fielding, the throwback probably gave them enough time to come back for the second, but it's in the end good fielding. And that fielding we saw from Bartlett, very good effort as well. Shows just that Somerset will put their bodies on the line to stop even a single. There we go. There's the replay of
a bit of showboating there from Max Waller. Completely unnecessary, as ever. The showman Waller, just trying to entertain the people at home with a variation of the throw. As Davey is in this time, Jack Taylor, surely something's got to give here. It does. He whacks one away to leg side. George Bartlett's after it. Brilliant bit of fielding as well as he flings that back in the rope. Superb stuff. Jeremy Lloyds gives a thumbs up just to say it's okay, and that Bartlett was within the rope. Just 2 runs there. You mentioned there, Charlie, your radio show. Also available for other bookings. Now you've diversified into TV as well, bar mitzvahs, weddings, children's parties.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you want cricket commentary for, or a radio show?
at Charlie Taylor 7.
No, make it up. There's someone else they'll be booking then. I get a lot of tweets about Charlie Taylor, the football player. I think he played for Leeds United for a long time. Don't know if he still does. I might get even more now they're in the Premier League as Davies in again. This one is gone high. It's got the distance on it as well. It's a mammoth shot here, and it's bounced on the top of the Trescothick stand and come back in. And actually, Max Waller nearly catching it off the rebound from the Marcus Trescothick stand. There's one person there, one of the ball boys, waiting, thought he might get a chance, but in the end not. What a huge shot that was from Taylor, who we know can hit these big shots. I think he was hoping to hit the splash of the River Tone. We've had a tweet from Phil who says, just to let you know, the Tone's a very clean river. Lots of people swim in it from just down the
not
the
for
river
me,
here.
I'm afraid.
Not for Steve. He's got his hair to think about. It was perfectly coiffured hair. Thank you very much, Philip, for getting in touch. Speaking of the rivers, I was on the canal yesterday, the Bridgewater and Taunton Canal. Not sure how that compares, the water quality. As Davies in, and this one, it's a Yorker length, and in the end Taylor able just to angle the bat towards third man. Abel does the fielding alongside Ollie Sale. Just the 1 run from that one. So let's take a look at Max Waller's stats. 4.5 runs per over, 3 wickets there just for the 18 runs. Really good effort from the spinner for Somerset, as usual in T20. He plays a fantastic role for the county.
Van der Merwe's got 1 over left to bowl. You think he's going to get a look at it. Ollie Sale, 1.4 overs for 23, so he's certainly come back with his second over, hasn't he? That was an excellent over from Ollie Sale. I think we said he bowled his first over for 19. It looks like it's going to be a chance for catch. Babur Azam takes a superb catch at long off. What a great catch that has. Scott is gone. Azam diving forward from a flat batted shot from George Scott. I didn't think the ball was quite going to reach him, but what a well-judged catch that was, just diving in front of the Colin Atkinson Pavilion, full length. What a catch by Babur Azam, superb stuff. Crucial wickets in T20 cricket. You've got to keep getting wickets, quelling the flow of runs, and Somerset have managed to do this throughout the innings. As soon as there's a bit of a partnership, Jack Taylor hitting a huge bomb onto the Marcus Trescothick stand, and immediately the momentum's cut with another wicket. Superb stuff from Josh Davey and Babur Azam. I'm sure all our viewers from Pakistan would have absolutely loved that.
Yeah, great to see. And Somerset really taking their catches. We've seen a great one from Lewis Gregory. That very good as well from the international player. And Babur Azam who came in nicely for that one. Thank you to Ben, who's watching the feed. He says Charlie Taylor has played in the Premier League with Burnley since 2017. So he did come from Leeds United. So that's why I used to get a lot of quite angry Leeds fans tweeting me about my performances on the pitch.
Makes me think of Charlie Adam, actually. I don't know if you listened to the Peter Crouch podcast about the hashtag parched.
Yeah.
Very, very funny about the guy who kind of always spending the water breaks time around the managers, and so they nicknamed him Parched. So if anyone who's listened to the Peter Crouch podcast, very, very, very funny indeed. That's a great wicket that for Somerset. Gloucestershire, it's been a strange innings, this one. It's been full of actually violence, where you think Gloucestershire are going to score 220, and then actually now we're in a stage of actually, if Somerset bowl well, could restrict them to 170. It's 135 or 15 overs. It's topsy-turvy stuff, and that's what T20 cricket is. It's full of wickets, runs, boundaries, charity donations. We've seen the Trade Nation ball's been hit twice for £500 or £250 each today. I'll tell you what, while we're on that, let's just remind everyone about Streaming Style. Hashtag Streaming Style. Follow Trade Nation. Chance to win 150 quid, or as I've mentioned 17 times already, 31,859 Pakistani rupees, which translates very favourably. And we've got some other currency breakdowns as well, which Charlie Taylor is going to give you now.
You set me right up there. Find out what it is in American dollars. I don't know how many American viewers we'd have watching.
We've had a few, haven't we? We've had a few tweets from the States, Colorado, somebody was watching.
We had some in Canada as well. I think I have to look up those as well. It's going to be Roller van der Merwe continuing from the Marcus Trescothick Pavilion end. This one pushed out backwards of square on the offside, just a single added. It's amazing, isn't it? You think it's the Gloucestershire team watching this, they'd be frustrated knowing that all those runs were coming, and suddenly those wickets, a clatter of wickets, just stopping that progress, and now looking at what could be a pretty par score, where they were looking much above that. So very frustrating for Gloucestershire. Great news for Somerset after a difficult start with the ball, as this one again pushed into the leg side this time. Just be the single added. 138 for 6. Taylor's on 18. Benny Howell out there just on the 1.
Yeah, just a reminder, the Streaming Style hashtag. Show us where you're watching the game from. Show us how you're watching it. Make it innovative. Make it funny. Make us laugh. Trade Nation are going to pick the best ones and chuck you some cash or a Baba Azam shirt as Van der Merwe goes past the outside edge. Just neatly gathered by Steve Davis. We don't tend to mention him much just because he's so darn good. He just catches the ball and gets on with it, throws it back, lets the bowler bowl the next one. But he's kept superbly for Somerset. Certainly over the last 3 or 4 seasons, he's been a wonderful addition to the squad. And no fuss wicketkeeper, just catches the ball, gets on with it. There's another single on the offside.
Just gets on with his job in both formats, doesn't he? Really, with when he's wearing the gloves, like you say, you don't really think of him too much just because he does so well. But also with the bat, just churns out runs, especially in red ball cricket. Plays very well in white ball cricket, but in the red ball cricket, just churns out run after run. He's a great player, as you said, great signing for a few seasons now. Is this one played out into the offside? You, as a wicket keeper, you're a purist. You've told us before you love watching wicket keepers. Davies must be one of the quieter keepers behind the stumps, is he? You don't hear him all that often shouting around, perhaps getting into the batsman's ear a little bit.
He's actually not that quiet with his own team from an encouragement perspective. He's kind of at his own guys about the standards. So yeah, he's probably a bit more vocal than you would think. But yeah, he's not outwardly aggressive with his body language towards the batters, which I guess most important thing I sort of talk to our young keepers about. Whatever you do, you can be the quietest or the mouthiest wicket keeper in the world, but the most important thing you do is you catch it. You can't. It's brilliant being the loudest man in the room, but you can't. You've got to catch the ball.
Let's take a look at some of these from last Friday when we were here just a couple of days ago. This is against Worcestershire. Tom Abel showing why he is the king of the scoops, the super scooper. I saw tweeted.
We had a few names, didn't we, for it, Charlie? The flip, flap, flop.
There we go. Just a little flick of the wrist as the ball comes in. Using that pace, adding a little bit of height with the bat. Simple shot for 4. Did it twice in a row.
I think we'll see a few more of those a bit later. Tom Abel's been playing some outstanding cricket in T20 cricket. I think he's one of the more complete T20 players, and I say that because his running between the wickets, his ability to manipulate spin, but also now his ability to hit boundaries on both sides of the wicket, behind the wicket keeper, in front of square. Really high quality of bat face. He's become very quickly a key man for Somerset in T20 cricket in that number 4 position.
Ollie Sale in this one, looking to pull across the line. is Taylor. Just be a single. And good point here raised by Ben, who's watching, saying the fielding's been immense. We've kind of touched on it, haven't we, about the catching being great. We saw George Bartlett saving a single on the boundary, really putting in the effort, working together sometimes in pairs to field, which is so important. Speeds up that fielding process quite often as well. It's been very good. If Somerset can keep that up for the next 3 overs and 5 balls, they'll be restricting Gloucestershire to fewer runs than otherwise. As that one takes an edge, bounces just in front of Steve Davies, who couldn't do much. It came very quickly to him. It's going to go for 4 runs. It was an under edge, I think, just bounced right in front of Davies, who we were just talking about, the wicket-keeper there. I'm sure we'll see a replay of that one in a second as the ball is returned to the wicket-keeper. Another 4 runs added to the total. Not a great deal. Let's take a look. I just missed missed it as it went past the keeper, but it was a difficult one there for Davies, bouncing right in front of him, coming quickly and changing direction, more importantly, from the ball that was bowled from Ollie Sale. So a little bit unlucky. Sale in again, and this one is played out onto the leg side. I think about a single, but it isn't there. As Smead comes in, a direct hit, middle stump, but the batsman was in. Look at the mess that Will Smead has made of the stumps there. You know Will pretty well. We've talked about his batting in the previous game. His fielding looks pretty sharp there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a single the last over off Roelof van der Merwe that hit straight to Will Smead, and he didn't really kind of back himself to attack the ball and throw the stumps down. And I saw van der Merwe looking at him a little bit disapprovingly, so it was really good when he got that opportunity there. Will had the chance to throw the ball, the stump, just let it go, have a go. And even though the batter was just in his ground, it was good to see Will having the confidence to throw the ball, the stumps, and hitting as well.
And the other thing it does is a batsman will now take a look at Will Smead and think, right, we're not taking him on for a quick single. Just adds that extra into the batsman's head. This one is nicely played out onto the leg side. It'll go over the head of Roelof van der Merwe for 6 runs. Not too far away, just a little bit too short of the Trade Nation tee there. Nice looking shot. That's another 6 added to the total. Another 50 quid for the Children's Hospice Southwest as we take another look at this 6. It brings up the 150 for Gloucestershire, 152 for 6 now. And Somerset won't want too many more of those. Although the Children's Hospice Southwest would love a few more of those, as it brings 50 quid each time.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got looking at a few more tweets as well. Debbie said, could someone teleport Max Waller to Manchester for England's bowling innings? I'm getting the feeling that he may be needed as Sale is in again. This time, ball struck. That one's in the River Tone. No doubt about it. It's gone all the way. What a strike that was. Superb shot that by Benny Howell, who is back for Gloucestershire today. His first game for a while, Benny Howell. I think he was out with a rather serious hamstring injury from what I can remember, but that was a superb strike indeed. Very pure, straight through the line of the ball, checking his hands as well, over the Marcus Gothic stand, into the River Tone. It's a graveyard of white cricket balls in there. I know the fact that we were practicing on that side the other day, and Babur Azam and Will Smead must have hit at least 8 or 9 in there. So there's plenty in there. Marcus Gothic wasn't too pleased with us because they were his balls. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm on his Christmas card list. But speaking of cards, actually, I've got a card in front of me which I don't know if we can come to the commentary box, Cam, Dan, and Ben. But yeah, I've got a card addressed to Chief YouTuber at Somerset County Cricket Club,
is it?
Which is the new job title. It says a new job, well done, congrats. So big thanks to Scott. I don't think I've been sacked from the role as head of talent pathway at Somerset County Cricket Club just yet, but I did appreciate the card coming. If anyone else wants to send any fan mail to myself or Charlie, then of course you're more than welcome. But yeah, I appreciate that, Scott. Thanks for the thought. As Ollie Sale hits a Yorker into the block hole, and the Gloucestershire batters scamper through for a single, takes the score onto 160 for 6, I believe now. The scoreboard's just having a bit of a reboot. Sounds like Polly be having a meltdown in the scorebox with that happening.
Are you Chief YouTuber? Does that mean you're an influencer now, Steve? Is that hashtag influencer on your Twitter bio?
Well, I do need to get a little bit better with my social media game, my Instagram game, as they say. I kind of.
I saw your Instagram in the other day.
Yeah, I kind of even forget what my username is to tell people. I just kind of flip with it. Really, I can't even remember what it is. Snelly 1983. That's it. Snelly 1983 on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I get confused these days because somebody sends you a message on WhatsApp, you don't check it. You got one on LinkedIn, emails, phone calls.
You're so popular, Steve. You got show off.
Nine different ways to communicate. Surely there must be an app which connects them all. So any message you get just comes like an old-fashioned text message.
Steve, you could make an absolute fortune with that, mate. That is surefire winner. I'm sure Facebook would buy it off you for £1 million or so. As Gregory's in, this one played across the line. That's over Cow Corner. That's 6 more runs to Gloucestershire, and they're finding the boundaries again now. The score moves to 165 for 9, and Lewis Gregory, first ball of his over, has gone for 6. And Gloucestershire now looking above par. They've gone through funny old innings, this, isn't it? It's gone for loads of runs, then completely stemmed, and now the back end of the innings they're attacking again. Let's see what's going on. Jeremy Lloyds will take a look at the ball as that was hit out into the harder tarmac surface, into the seats as well, where there should be a great big crowd. Sadly not at the moment, but yeah, a great shot, that one across the line over mid-wicket.
Yeah, we talked at the start of the day that it was an afternoon that looked like it should be full of runs here. It hasn't disappointed. We've seen so many boundaries. We'll get a running total soon of the charity donations so far from Trade Nation, but there's been an absolute run fest. But then there's been periods in the game where there's been dot balls, there's been dots, there's been wickets, and then the batters come forward and take the game on again. We've seen loads of sixes already. Gloucestershire 165 for 6. We've got 2.4 overs remaining. They'll be seeing if they can target around that 190 to 200 mark, and that would be a pretty good score, I'm sure, as this ball's smashed away on the leg side. I guess it could be another boundary for Benny Howe. He really is motoring. 4 more runs. He's 29 not out of just 10 balls. Benny Howe, he's not looking like a man who has been on the treatment table getting some muscle stimulation in his hamstring. He looks like somebody who's been on a T20 camp, a batting holiday, it may seem, and he is absolutely whopping it out there.
Maybe he's with the hamstring injury just thinking he doesn't want to actually do the runs, just hit them in boundaries. He's doing pretty well out there, hitting 2.9 per ball on average as Gregory's in again, and this one, it could well be 6 more. It is! Benny Howell is absolutely smashing it. 35 from 11 he's on now. Absolutely huge. Already, just being told, we've raised £1,250 for charity. I think that's already our biggest amount, and we're not even halfway through the game.
Well, Trade Nation must they need to get trade in to recoup some of the losses for today. Certainly if Babar Azam gets going for Somerset as well, we're hoping there's going to be many more boundaries left in this game.
I think our drone camera operator's a bit worried as Benny Howe this time playing it out, much more sophisticated looking shot, playing out to the long on area as Tom Abel comes in to do the fielding. 176 for 6. The scoreboard here is having a bit of a problem, so we'll try and keep you as updated with the score as we can, but at the moment 176 for 6 it's showing.
One question I kind of will level towards the Somerset bowlers. I think the shot we saw Benny Howe hit over the Marcus Scrothick stand into the River Tone, it was a superb shot. It was a pure strike, as this time Gregory bowls it in the block hole, and that reinforces the point I'm about to make. A lot of the shots we've been hit have been pull shots square of the wicket, with Somerset bowling the ball into the surface. Actually, let's make Gloucestershire play high level, high quality shots down the ground. Let them not let them get underneath the ball. And we've seen quite a lot of boundaries hit towards that mid-wicket region, just almost with pace-off balls into the surface. And I just think it might be time just to go to that Yorker a little bit more often than we have here.
Take a look at those shots. This is live from our drone cam. What a gorgeous day in Taunton. Beautiful views over the chimney pots, the rooftops of Taunton, now looking down at the ground. Absolutely glorious day here, and it just shows, I think this drone shot gives you a great idea of just how much in the town centre this ground is. You see the grounds that are the newer grounds built on the outskirts. It's the same in all sorts of sports. You lose that little bit of a community feel. Right here in Taunton, we are in the centre of the town. We've got the river running right past us, where a couple of the balls are now bobbing their way downstream. It's a great ground, great place to watch cricket, especially on a day like this. As Davey is in, that's going to be given as a no ball. We've already seen a few of those. Tom Abel was taken out of the attack. It's 1 run from it. It'll be a free hit, I think, as well. Keeping my eye on Ian Blackwell, the umpire. And that is 100 and... Oh, there's an add-on a few for that one. I think 179 for 6, yeah. So the single and 2 for the no ball. So 3 runs from that one. And... it's going to have to be bowled again by Josh Davey, who, if he bowls another one of those, could give Lewis Gregory a bit of a headache.
Steve Davis will have to take the ball, won't he? There won't be anyone left to bowl.
That one is bowled Yorker length, hits the pads. It was wide of the stumps, and just the single leg by from it. So 180 is up with 11 balls to go on this first innings here at Taunton. It's Charlie Taylor and Steve Snell with you in the commentary box here, the makeshift commentary box, much warmer than we were on Friday night when that cool September air was coming in, and we were on a much later kick-off time there. It was dark outside. We were under glorious blue skies. The floodlights are switched off. Davey over the wicket, and this one is a better ball this time. Will be played out towards the leg side as he found the gap perfectly there, just clipping it out on the leg side. Another boundary, another £25 for the Children's Hospice South West, and Gloucestershire going really nicely here. Howell on to 41, Taylor there on 21.
Yeah, just look at the replay, look at the line of this Josh Davey ball. I venture it's fairly leg stump line, so bringing that square boundary into play, but I think the premise of what he's trying to do is good, is to not let Taylor get underneath the ball, but fair play there to beg your pardon, it's Benny Howell, not Jack Taylor, but fair play to Benny Howell. He's played an exquisite shot there. He just used his hands, used the timing of the ball, and happy to hit 4s and not just 6s. This time Davey goes into the wicket, Howell is through the shot, gets an outside Q end on it, and goes through to Davis, and there is no run. Benny Howell on 41 of 15 deliveries. Just a stat on the screen there. In all T20 Blast editions, the county ground, Cooper Associates County Ground, has had 28 scores of 200 or more, the most from any venue in the competition. So, mentioned at 200, it's not a rarity here. It's been happened 28 times before. On a venture, it may happen again today, twice potentially.
Davey into Howell this time, turns it around the corner onto the leg side as a diving stop there, nicely done, and Bartlett throws it in. Again, not finding his line quite right here for Davey, but at least stopping it there, 185 for 6.
50 partnership up for Taylor and Howell, 42 of those to Benny Howell, 5 to Taylor off just 24 deliveries. Benny Howell is 42 not out off 16 deliveries here. He's playing an innings of unbelievable quality. There have been some really good shots Benny Howell has played here as Josh Davey is in again. Taylor on strike, swings and misses. Good stuff from Josh Davey. That was the ball that he could have got underneath. Fortunately, from Somerset's perspective, he didn't. Score is 185 for 6. One ball left in the 19th over.
Still taking those risks, still bowling fairly short, bowling it into the pitch, which gives, as you said, that option of the pull shot, which there's a bit of space out there. They've got the fielders on the boundary, but it does mean that on that shorter side here, they are able to get underneath it. Those Trade Nation boards we've already seen hit twice today. It'll be Davey back in, and this one is pulled, or attempted pull. It's come on an under edge, just trickling past the stumps there. Davey unlucky not to pick up a wicket there. Playing on is Benny Howell, or Jack Taylor, I beg your pardon. But yeah, here we go. We'll watch it again. It comes in and doesn't get anything what he meant to. Oh, that's not far away, is it?
We've mentioned that this game has been a curious innings so far. So if you look at the Gloucestershire analysis, so Benny Howell 42 off 16 balls, striking at 262 per 100 balls. So Jack Taylor 21 off 27, striking at 77, and the score 185 for 6 with 1 over remaining, which Lewis Gregory is going to bowl. So there's been some oddities happening so far, but Lewis Gregory is going to bowl the last over of this innings, and he's coming in from the Marcus Trescothick Pavilion stand end, and he's hit down the ground this time by Benny Howell. It's going to be fielded, can't see in front of us, it looks like Max Waller, number 10, and that's just 1 run. Gloucestershire I think will be happy to get Benny Howell off strike, which I think is, he's the danger man at the moment. He's on 43, brings Jack Taylor back on strike.
Just a quick tweet here from Bryn. He says, Henry, who's Bryn's son, Henry and I have thought about sitting in a Trade Nation boat on the River Tone. If we catch a 6 in the boat, could that be £5,000 for charity? What do you think? Well, we need to... I'm going to say yes. It's not my money to give away, but I'm going to say yes.
On behalf of Trade Nation, I can officially say yes.
Absolutely.
Even though I've got no affinity to Trade Nation and its budgets whatsoever. Also, one question I would ask there, Bryn Thompson, who sent in that tweet, is how are we going to provide evidence of that? Because once the ball's hit over the stands, we can't see it no longer. But if you want to create a video which evidences that happening, then we'll of course be happy to state a case to Trade Nation as Tom Lambie does the fielding. Chance of a run out. Jack Taylor is back for 2. I think Somerset would be very happy to keep Benny Howell off strike here.
Just get the drone cam out, surely. That's what we need to keep an eye on the boat. Just have the drone watching it.
Has Ben Warren not set up a boat cam yet in the tone cam? We've got everything else, all sorts of other cams going on.
Swan cam or something attached to one of the local swans here. In comes Gregory over the wicket in this last over. That's nicely timed over the head of Babar Azam on the leg side boundary. That is another 6 runs to the total, and Gloucestershire here doing nicely. I think that takes them up to 194 for 6. Yeah, 194 for 6 the score. And Babar Azam, the world number 2 ranked batsman, is now going to have to look through the car park for the ball for that one.
It's over by the bins, that one. I can see the steward go. I don't know if Jeff can get a shot of that, but it's very very apt to that. The ball's just disappearing into the rubbish bins.
There they are. Look, the bins, live bin cam there.
The Babar Azam's over there. We can't have the Pakistan international rooting through the bins to find a ball. Unbelievable scenes.
There we go. Look at that. The world number 2 ranked batsman in the world is rooting through the Somerset County Cricket Club bins. And here we go. He's a steward with the ball.
Good to see that. Look at the different colour bins there. Somerset taking our recycling very, very seriously indeed. No cardboard boxes or glass in the wrong bins, that's for sure.
I'd love to get that in slow motion if there's any chance, please, of Babar Azam having to root through the bins to look through there. We just want to point out that there were gloves being worn, there was safety equipment, don't worry, everything being done right here, including the recycling at Somerset County Cricket Club. But great work from Babar Azam there. So not worried, he's certainly not a diva in that respect. He's happy to go searching for the ball when it goes out his way. Great fun. The last over here, 194 for 6, 3 balls left. What can Gloucestershire do? Lewis Gregory's in, that one's nicely played. Yorker length, and it's clipped onto the leg side, backwards of square, and it will be Babar Azam as they come back for a second, and the throw comes in, and in the end, they're safe. So 196 for 6 with 2 balls to go.
Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking this kind of innings so far sums up where Somerset are in the T20 competition. It's been an innings of some brilliance, great moments, but also an innings of inconsistency really in terms of skill execution. And don't get me wrong, Gloucestershire have batted really well here as that ball looked to swung away by Jack Taylor. Gregory's going to kick the stumps down as an appeal. Ian Blackwell gives that not out as Jeremy Lloyds gives a leg by, takes a score I think on to 197. There's 1 ball remaining. But yeah, it's just an innings of inconsistency punctuated by some really good moments by Gloucestershire as well. So Somerset haven't been terrible here by any means, but equally haven't been taking the game by the scruff of the neck at any stage.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfectly fair summation of what we've seen here so far, and that has been the frustration, hasn't it? We know Somerset have got the skills, they've got great bowlers, they've got fantastic batsmen, but it just hasn't clicked all at once so far. And this game, I know Lewis Gregory will be frustrated as the captain as to some of the bowling, in particular that one over that went for 30 runs. Here he is again, last ball of the Gloucestershire innings. He's in, and that's nicely picked up. That'll go for 6. What a way to finish. It's a huge shot into the Ondaatje Pavilion stand, and 6 runs to finish, which means that Somerset will be chasing 204 to win another 50 quid for charity. It's a big old chase for Somerset. 204 runs needed for them to win. Gloucestershire finished 203 for 6. Benny Howell on 49 runs.
Yeah, just 18 deliveries there, Benny Howell. I guess, on a positive for Somerset, the fact that if Benny Howell would have come in earlier, Somerset could have been chasing a few more. That's absolutely astonishing innings. Bear in mind the amount of cricket that he's missed to come back in and strike the ball so cleanly, so purposefully, but also a tactically brilliant innings. Exactly what Gloucestershire needed.
Absolutely. It's a big old target. We've seen Somerset fall short of 168 in the last game, so they're going to have to do better than that. The 200-run mark crossed on 5 occasions last season here. Across all T20 Blast editions, only twice has a venue seen more 200-plus scores in a season. That's 7 at Trent Bridge and 7 at Edgbaston in the years 2017 and 18, respectively.
Just coming back to the toss, the point we made at the start of the game, Somerset looking to chase, actually again passing on that advantage to the batting side, actually getting a score on the board. I think chasing is great when you bowl it amazingly well, actually, but when the side have got a score on the board, immediately Somerset are under pressure, like the other night against Worcestershire. You lose a couple of wickets early, like Babar Azam again goes early. Somerset, again, it's a difficult chase.
Absolutely, although Babrazam gets going and we could see some very special cricket here today. Let's see what happens. Question to update you, halfway through, £1,450 has been raised already for the Children's Hospice South West. We've still got 20 overs of cricket to watch. So plenty of runs coming, plenty of fours and sixes, and twice in one over we saw the Trade Nation tee hit over towards the Marcus Trescothick stand. We're about to do our competition for you. We will find out who's going to win the 50-inch TV, the cider, and the pizza as well. But Steve, we're able to give away 2 TVs in the last game a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning something we actually haven't labelled the point about it today, have we? But how's that Trade Nation? So when Charlie Taylor actually gives you a call, which he very well may do in a moment, you've got to answer the phone with how's that Trade Nation for a chance to win it. I don't think we've actually mentioned it at all, so let's labour the point. How's that Trade Nation if the phone rings, and then you win the TV, you win the Thatchers, you win the food vouchers, and yeah, you're generally very happy.
Very exciting stuff. Now, as I said, we had 2 winners because we had a rollover from the previous game, so let's take a look at what happened when we delivered the prize to one of our lucky winners.
Morning, what a beautiful morning. We're here in Somerset. We're off to go and see Keith, who's won the streaming style package for on Friday night. We're going to deliver a 50-inch TV, vouchers, Thatchers, deck chairs, all the way to Keith now. Make it Sunday morning. Let's go and do it. Good morning. So we are at Keith's house. Keith is the winner of the Trade Nation streaming style prize for one on Friday night. He answered the phone with How's That Trade Nation, and he's about to be delivered a 50-inch TV that's coming to Keith's, based in Bridgewater, which is in Somerset, which is great. There I know well, so we're just waiting for the Somerset van to get here, and then we're going to give the prize to Keith, and in a safe environment we'll leave the prize on his doorstep and then make sure that he's got them there available to make use of. There we go, Sam and the Somerset van are here. There we go.
Well, apologies for that. We were hoping to bring you that video, but I think we had some sound issues. Let's see if we can watch it again now with the sound on for you.
Morning, what a beautiful morning. We're here in Somerset. We're off to go and see Keith, who's won the streaming style package for on Friday night. We're going to deliver a 50-inch TV, vouchers, Thatchers, deck chairs, all the way to Keith now. Make it Sunday morning. Let's go and do it. Good morning. So we are at Keith's house. Keith is the winner of the Trade Nation streaming style prize for one on Friday night. He answered the phone with How's That Trade Nation, and he's about to be delivered a 50-inch TV that's coming to Keith's, based in Bridgewater, which is in Somerset, which is great. There I know well, so we're just waiting for the Somerset van to get here, and then we're going to give the prize to Keith, and in a safe environment we'll leave the prize on his doorstep and then make sure that he's got them there available to make use of. There we go, Sam and the Somerset van are here. There we go.
Bit overwhelming at the moment on a Sunday morning.
Exactly, Sunday morning. We deliver on a Sunday morning. It's great that Keith won this. It's fantastic to get prizes like this to great Somerset members that can't get to the ground. So if you want to win a chance to win streaming style, all you got to do, like Keith's done, you've got to enter online. Keith, easy to enter, wasn't it?
Yeah, very easy.
Very easy to enter online. You can basically get 2 more chances. We're giving away a prize today. Still available to download on the Somerset website, and also for next Friday night for the final game. So thanks to Trade Nation, streaming style. Keith's the next winner. Well done, Keith.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic stuff. Look at that. Keith absolutely delighted with that. We had a chat with him on Friday. He was our second winner on the night. We've got 1 TV to give away today as well. If you hear your phone ring, even if it's a private or withheld number, pick it up. Steve, what's the first thing you've got to say?
You've got to say, how's that Trade Nation, Charlie, haven't you?
As long as you say that, then the TV, just like Keith there, will be yours. So we've got 3 numbers here. We will try them in order, 1, 2, 3. If the first one picks up, great. And then they've won the TV. If not, we'll move on. And we'll move on. Let's see how we get on this afternoon then. We're going to try the first number now. It's got to be the first thing that they pick up. If that works, then we will hopefully be speaking to them shortly.
How's that, Trade Nation?
Oh, yes, Leslie?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Leslie, you've just won the TV, the Thatchers and the pizza. How do you feel?
Oh, brilliant!
Fantastic. Good stuff, Leslie. Are you watching the Somerset stream today? How do you think it's going?
Yes, I am. You just confused me because it's running a bit behind time.
Well, don't worry. You've won it. You've done it.
In a call, I think, phone rang.
Well, good for you. You've won the TV. We'll get that to you. What do you reckon then? Somerset chasing 204 here. Feels like a lot of runs. What do you think?
It does feel a lot, especially after the last two. We haven't quite made it, but if Baba gets in, we'll do it.
Fantastic stuff. Well, look, what are you going to do with the TV? Is that going to make a big difference to you?
It is. My TV's over 10 years old now, so it'd be great to have a replacement. And the Thatchers will be a taste of home up here in Leicestershire.
Oh, fantastic. Got a long trip, James. You're heading up to Leicestershire for this one. Leslie, absolutely great to speak to you. Well done and congratulations.
Brilliant, thank you.
Very good there. Look at that. Another happy competition winner, Leslie there from Leicestershire, winning the TV, the Thatchers and the pizza. Absolutely brilliant to give that away. And first time, no stress today.
One of life's lessons has been learnt, hasn't it, this week? You say, how's that, Trade Nation? Changing lives, Charlie Taylor, on a Sunday afternoon here in Taunton. Brilliant. Brilliant there's people engaging and getting it right. Because we did have a few false starts with that, didn't we, in terms of people kind of answering the phone and not saying, how's that, Trade Nation? No such problem today. So well done, Leslie, winning that. TV on its way with some Thatchers and some food vouchers.
Fantastic. Do you fancy a weekend in Leicestershire? We'll go and join in with the TV.
James's face there when I found out the winner was in Leicestershire wasn't quite as happy as you saw him in that shot at Bridgewater earlier. That's for sure.
Fantastic. Well, he's got a journey up the M5 onto the M6 and to the M1 as he gets into Leicestershire. He'll have fun doing that, bringing the TV to Leslie. Meanwhile, we're here, and if you want to get involved, you can do. We've got another home game coming up for you on Friday, that one against Northamptonshire. You know what you've got to do. Just got to sign up online, somersetcountycc.co.uk, fill in the form, and you could be speaking to me on the phone in the interval in that game, winning yourself TV, Thatchers and pizza. Great stuff. You can see from your screens there, the Gloucestershire team, they'll feel pretty happy, Steve. 203 on the board. That's a lot of pressure on the Somerset batsmen.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of pressure indeed. They're just coming out there now, the umpires, Lloyd and Blackwell. I'm just going to take you through the card, actually. Miles Hammond caught Bartlett, bowled Waller for 27. Chris Dent caught Abel, bowled Gregory for 16. Ian Cobain caught Gregory, bowled Waller for 50 off 27 deliveries. A fine innings from Ian Cobain. Higgins, LBW, bowled Van der Merwe for 10. Bracey caught Gregory, bowled Waller for 0. It was a great catch, by the way, by Lewis Gregory to get rid of Ryan Higgins, diving away to his right at short mid-wicket. George Scott caught Babar Azam in the deep, diving forward. Another excellent catch for 9. And then Benny Howe, a stupendous knock of 49, not out of just 18 deliveries, just providing the catalyst to what was a resurgent last 5 overs for Gloucestershire and taking them up to that score of 203. The bowling figures, Max Waller was excellent, 3 for 18 off 4. Lewis Gregory, some real damage to him, 1 for 54 off 4. Josh Davey, 1 for 36 off 4. Tom Lammy, just a 1 over, 0 for 11 off 1. Rulef van der Merwe, again, some really economical figures, 1 for 30 off 4. Ollie Sale, 2.4 overs, 0 for 41. He took over an over from Tom Abel. Tom Abel bowled two balls and then actually bowled 2 no-ball full tosses. And had to be taken out of the attack, and Ollie Sale finished his over. So yeah, some damage and also some good figures in the Somerset analysis there. But it's Steve Davis and Babar Azam out in the middle. This time Steve Davis taking the first ball of the innings away from Babar Azam, who hasn't had much luck in that regard. But it's going to be Graham Van Buren going to bowl the first ball, and Steve Davis works the ball away on the onside. Looks like it's going to be a couple of runs. So Davis off the mark straight away, and that's a better start there for Somerset. Off the mark straight away. And Steve Davis will be feeling good about that.
Yep, great start compared to what we've seen in the last game here. 2 for no loss. Davies back on strike. Davies who top scored for Somerset in the Worcestershire game at Edgbaston. Again, just trying to flick this one out into the leg side and not quite so lucky there. But Davies survives. That's the key thing which Somerset have struggled with. It's been collapses. Really, the story of Somerset's innings so far here at Taunton has just been constant wickets falling, apart from the Glamorgan game where Hildreth and Abel were able to put on a great partnership to win that game. Actually, the wickets have just kept falling. So We will see how they get on this time, as this one is flicked, or attempted flick onto the leg side again, but not getting all of that. Hit on the pads. There's a big appeal from Van Buren, and not given. So Ian Blackwell keeping his finger in his pocket, and the score moves from 2 for no loss. And this one again, just on the leg side-ish, and Davies not looking to overhit it or smash it to the boundary, just happy with a single and playing it out there. So Babar Azam brought on to strike. If you're watching in Pakistan, the world number 2 ranked T20 batsman here at Taunton. Under sunny blue skies, you can probably see the shadow of the floodlight just starting to creep across the wicket as Van Buren is in to Babar Azam, who plays this one, doesn't get anything on it. And there's no run added to the score. 3 for no loss. It's a good over, good start considering the runs needed for Somerset. They need another 201 still. Van Buren in, and this one is played towards the leg side, just tapped backwards of square to the man at backward square leg field, and there is just a single added. So the score 4 for no loss. So there's the runs needed, exactly 200. They've got 19 overs to find them.
Yeah, Babar Azam will be feeling a little bit better about life, just getting off the mark there. I mean, it must be an unbelievable amount of pressure. Obviously, the whole of Pakistan kind of watching your every move. Salam alaikum to everyone, actually, who is watching in Pakistan and all the way around the world. Babar Azam, world-ranked number 22 batsman, just needs almost about 12 runs or 13 runs to bring up 5,000 T20 runs. Would be the second fastest man to do it. But yeah, the actual swell of pressure on somebody like Babar Azam, where every dismissal, every move, every step almost is analysed, psychoanalysed and retraced by every kind of cricket-loving person in your country. It must be. I'm nervous for him watching him bat today, as David Payne is in to bowl against Azam. This time he, on the back foot, pulls the ball away to deep square leg for a single, takes him on to 2 not out.
I guess is someone like that in a bit of pressure here, knowing that, as you say, you've got millions of people keeping an eye on him. Actually, he knows he's got the talent. You can have bad innings, you can have things that go against you, but you just got to back yourself, back the talent, and trust your natural ability. Just let that innings come. And for him, I guess maybe it was about surviving that first over and just feeling like I'm in the game now a bit more, can just play what feels like a natural game. It'll be Steve Davies who's come on to strike. David Payne here. This one flicked nicely onto the leg side as he found a gap in the field. He certainly has. Nice looking shot. First boundary. More money for charity. £25 added, and that from Steve Davies. Not too much risk involved. Nice looking shot. Let's take another look at that one as Payne comes in. And Steve Davies just playing this one, pulling it into the leg side. Nice looking shot from the former England man. 9 for no loss.
Yeah, superb shot that from Steve Davies. £25 more to charity as well. Southwest Children's Hospice, or Children's Hospice Southwest, as Davies turns the ball away on the onside for a single. And one of the things that Somerset will be hoping to remedy what's been happening in the power play is that losing those early wickets in the first couple of overs. If actually they can get on a roll here and leave the players like Tom Abel, Lewis Gregory with probably a bit less to do, and also a bit more certainty about how to play. So coming in with 7-8 overs remaining as opposed to 16-17. Been an awful lot of pressure on those middle order players.
It just changes the whole mindset, doesn't it? If you can come in knowing that actually you've got a few men behind you waiting to come in with that timing, as this is Azam trying to drive it, but not quite timing it, picking out the fielder. And there's no run added. But yeah, absolutely. If you're a Lewis Gregory in the squad, you want to come out and have license to play the big shots. Is what he thrives on. Lewis Gregory, we've seen him play so well in T20 seasons gone past, but he hasn't had that chance really in this the way things have gone in the T20 home games here at Taunton so far, just because of those early wickets falling. He's come to the crease sooner than he would have liked as Payne's over the wicket, and this one just beats the bat of Babar Azam. It's a nice looking ball from David Payne.
Yeah, a bit of bites and grip there from David Payne. Just Babar Azam just tapping down the surface. Just a big welcome to all the people joining the stream. I know many of you will want to see Babar Azam bat, I beg your pardon. Assalamu alaikum, I mentioned a moment ago. That's about the extent of my language skills, but great to see all. Babar Azam is on the back foot, pulls the ball away. It's fielded by Van Buren at mid-wicket, and there's just a single. Takes Somerset on to 11 for no wicket after 2 overs. I do think this power play is absolutely critical, and Steve Davies and Babar Azam have been a little bit tentative, perhaps obviously scarred by the previous power plays that Somerset have had, but I think certainly now we'll see from Davis and Azam time to put the foot down on the throttle, I think.
Yes, a quick look here. Babar Azam dismissed every 34.3 balls he faces in T20 cricket. No other player to have played at least 100 innings has been dismissed less frequently, as Van Buren is in, and there's a big attempted shot. Could be a catch. Oh, it falls just short of the fielder. That was Smith coming in there, and a big edge from Babar Azam. Not a convincing looking shot at all. As in comes Van Buren. This is the better looking shot, just driven out into the offside, and they'll come through for the single here. Like you say, survival. If Babar is there for, let's say, 10 overs, that's quite a long time in T20 cricket, but if he is, Somerset will be in a good position to really kick on from there. Just depends how batsmen do at the other end as well, but it's about platform building here. They don't want to lose those early wickets and leave too much for the lower order to get. As this time Steve Davies comes in, another edgy looking shot. This one run past the fielder, backwards of a point, and that one will just be pulled inside. Nice looking fielding there. They turned down what would have been a third run, I think wisely as well. I don't think it was there. And the fielding by Payne coming in from the boundary. Nice looking fielding. So both teams so far showing that their fielding's been pretty good. That's something that's been happening in both sides, as Steve Davies is forwards trying to drive this one into the on side. It'll be picked up at long on, just a single added.
Yeah, Van Buren bowling the tough overs here. We mentioned he's 3 for 15 of his 4 overs the other night against Northamptonshire, but bowling, this is his second over in the power play, so showing that he's prepared to bowl the tough overs and vary his pace. As this time Azam is on the back foot as a quick single. Jack Taylor does the fielding. Azam gets to the non-strikers end without much fuss. Van Buren just 9 runs off 1.5 overs. In Baba we trust, say the Somerset fans and all his fans listening and watching in Pakistan. Steve Davies will be looking to inflict some damage as he does. He lifts the ball over Van Buren. It's just going to be a single this time. That's going to be 3 overs gone. 17 for no wicket are Somerset. Crucially, no wickets, but just that one boundary so far. That's pull shot from Steve Davies, I think, from what I can remember.
Yeah, just taking it fairly slowly. And talking about going slowly, here's Babar Azam in slow-mo. Let's enjoy this. The world number 2 ranked T20 batsman, as he just comes across the line on that one. Nice looking shot against David Payne, who the fast bowler coming in from the end that we're sitting at. Me and Steve Snell here, Charlie Taylor with you on the live stream. Very pleased to welcome all our viewers, many of them I would imagine in Pakistan, joining us now to watch Babar Azam bat for Somerset, fresh off the Pakistan tour of England. And it will be Higgins now to come around the wicket to Steve Davies. A little bit of width, and it's got the wicket. Steve Davies tried to back away a bit, give himself space, but he's played it straight to the fielder at forwards point. And that is the end of Steve Davies. And just the 12 runs, 17 for 1 now, Somerset. As we'll get to see that one again, you'll see Davies just make a little bit of room there and try and flash the ball through point. And it didn't work for him. The fielder sharp to it, and the first wicket falls.
Yeah, it's unlucky. Steve Davies just trying to create some width, just backing away slightly and flailing that ball away on the offside, slightly outside half, but he got quite a lot of it. Good catch taken there. So unfortunate that for Somerset, but Steve Davies looking to do the right thing and make the most of this power play. Unfortunately, it hasn't gone his way this time. And Somerset find themselves 1 down. Ian Cobain taking the catch, Ryan Higgins doing the damage, and now it's left to young Will Smead to come and join Babar Azam.
Well, let's just update people on Will Smead. Perhaps those who didn't see on Friday. Steve, you're the man to talk to about Will, because he's just come out of the academy. He's got a bit of a reputation for himself there as a very good batsman.
Yeah, absolutely. Will's played some England under 19 cricket. He's come out Somerset Academy, signed with Somerset. He's been prolific in T20 cricket for the academy and the under 18s in the games he's played this year, but also in all forms of the game since he was about 8 years old. He's got a history of making big scores, and obviously this is a step up, playing in professional cricket against seasoned county professionals. But it's up to him now to try and find a way to score runs at this level.
It'll be Higgins over the wicket to Smead, who places out onto the leg side straight to the fielder, who's at cover, short cover, and there is no run there.
But also from a bowling perspective, it's bowling that he'll have faced before. Ryan Higgins isn't express. He's got subtle variations. He's a very good cricketer. He bowls very accurately, but he's not going to worry somebody like Will for pace, who'd have seen this type of bowling before.
Yeah. Mid-wicket, I should have said there. He played out onto the leg side as Higgins is in. And this one again played onto the leg side. It beats the fielder at mid-wicket. That will run away for 4 runs. Another £25. And Will Smeed off the mark. That's his second boundary in Somerset colours. His first today. And the score moves to 21 for 1. And that will feel good, won't it, to get a nice timed 4 through the mid-wicket area.
Yeah, great shot. Great use of the hands there from Will Smeed. Doesn't move an awful lot there with his feet, which I think is an advantage on better wickets against, I guess, professional bowlers. Just letting the ball come onto the bat and working the ball away from mid-wicket. This time, slower ball from Higgins, looped up. Smeed smashes it away on the offside for a single. Lovely moment that. Just Will Smeed giving Babar Azam a little fist pump. Just pumping gloves with one of the world's best players. And that'll leave him feeling a little bit more confident. Azam still yet to find his timing. He faced scored 5 runs off 9 deliveries. He'll be very conscious of trying to get himself going as well and not just leaving it up to the young man.
Yeah, Higgins again. This time to Babar Azam, and this one on the stumps, dug out a bit there by Azam, and there is no run. So, using up a few deliveries, but the thing is, with someone of his talent, he can make up for that. If that's what it takes to get him in, I don't think Somerset fans will mind seeing him use up a few deliveries if towards the end of the innings or towards the middle maybe, he can start taking back those runs and perhaps overtaking the amount of runs he scores to the balls he faces. This one a full toss and turned onto the leg side, backwards of square. They'll think about 2, will they? No, just the single. They thought about it actually. There was a bit of hesitation, but just the single in the end, and that means Azam will keep the strike. 23 for 1 the score, and we're 4 overs now into this Somerset reply. 204 the target to win, another 181 runs.
Yeah, seems a long way off at this stage. Next 2 overs of the power play, quite crucial, I think, to get Somerset up to kind of sort of near that 45 run mark, to give them a bit of a platform. Still be chasing at least 10s for the last kind of 14, 15 overs, above 10s in actual fact. So quite a lot of work to do here. Just a reminder, if you're tuning in, if you're watching from anywhere in the world, there's an opportunity to win £150 or 31,859 Pakistani rupees. Show us where you're watching the game from. Use the hashtag StreamInStyle and follow It's Trade Nation to either win a Babar Azam shirt or £150 in any currency. So yeah, just a reminder, show us where you're watching from. Also a reminder, if you're in Taunton Tuesday to Saturday, Stragglers is open 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Come and have some food and have a coffee. As this time the ball is whacked away on the onside by Azam. Doesn't time it. It was a slower ball by David Payne, using those cutters into the surface. Gloucestershire look like they know what they're doing here, bowling some pace off deliveries. Azam yet to find his timing as Payne is looking to remove Azam. Left arm over the wicket, David Payne. Played a lot of cricket now, a lot of T20 cricket for Gloucestershire. He is attacking the stumps from the Sir Ian Botham stand end. This time Azam drives the ball down the ground. Again, no run. Another dot to Babar Azam. He is 6 of 13 deliveries here, striking at 46. He's struggling to find his timing here.
Yeah, that was what we saw. We had a good view of that here, just behind Babar as we look out, and you could just see he didn't quite time it. Hit the ball pretty much straight down as he brought the bat through that one. So Payne doing a good job. 23 for 1. Somerset will desperately want to get around the 50 mark, really, but that's looking a long way off for the power players. This one is better timed, but still not good enough for a run as the fielder picks it up at mid-off. And there is no run, 23 for 1. Gloucestershire doing a great job of restricting the runs here. That run rate already heading up towards 12. And we've got over 15 overs to go. But Babar Azam not out. That's the key for Somerset. If he can find his timing, then this ground is probably too small for him. But it all relies on him getting into that zone, finding that timing. And it could just be a knock that's needed to do that. And this one beats the bat, going over the top of the bat from Babar Azam. We tried to play that with pretty flat looking bat out towards the point area. And there's no run. Again, 23 for 1.
What this shows is even the world's top batsman batting is such a mental game when you're not as confident or as happy as you would like to be. He will remember he's gone for 10 off 17 deliveries, 27 for 2, and Azam will be really disappointed how that's gone this afternoon.
Bit of a tame dismissal, not timing it and heading it straight to the fielder, Taylor, who took a good catch, although made a bit of a meal of it, considering it wasn't too difficult, but had to catch it. Babar Azam goes again, flattering to deceive. He's on 10 when he goes. So more than we've seen from the last few innings here from Babar, but he's gone, and he's used up quite a lot of deliveries in that 10 as well, which is not what Somerset can afford at the moment. So Tom Abel, who has been in very good form in all forms of cricket for Somerset, will join Will Smeed at the crease. So 2 players brought up through the Somerset academies here, 2 Somerset boys at the crease. The score 27 for 2, and these 2 cannot afford time getting in or wasted deliveries. They need to go very soon. The run rate 11.8 now per over, and still 177 runs needed.
Yeah, I've got a lot to do here, both Smeed and Abel, and they haven't really got much time to do it in terms of there's no messing around here, and a lot of pressure on young Smeed and Tom Abel, but at least they know they've got to come out and score. There's no kind of ambiguity about what they need to do, but certainly from Gloucestershire, they've got an awful lot of experience. Van Buren is switched ends, so he's got his 3rd over already. I think Gloucestershire's plans is look to try and get Somerset behind the run rate as much as possible, as Van Buren is in here to Smeed, who the ball has gone down the leg side. It looks like it's going to be a wide as Jeremy Lloyd just puts his arms outstretched. It is a wide, so that's 2 runs, because a single as well. Jeremy Lloyd's umpiring his last game at Taunton today. He was given a guard of honour by both teams earlier, which was a lovely touch, I think, by Somerset Director of Cricket Andy Hurry. As Van Buren is in again to Tom Abel. Clips the ball away on the leg side. Smeed and Abel both quick between the wickets. Run hard. It's fielded by Scott at the mid-wicket boundary, just for a single. Yeah,
Somerset need to press on here. They need boundaries, something we haven't seen nearly enough of. We'd seen quite a few by Gloucestershire towards the end of the power play. This is the last over in the power play. This again just clipped into the leg side. It'll be the bowler Van Buren off his own bowling, who runs hard into the onside to field that one. Abel on 1, Smeed on 6. The score 31 for 2. Somerset need to keep going with the runs here. They can't afford too many more wickets, and it'll be Abel coming down the pitch this time again. It'll only be a single, I suspect, although these 2 look as though they're hungry for 2s. They haven't had that opportunity yet, but both of them keeping aware of what the fielders are up to, trying to get 2s where there might only be 1s to other batsmen. So it's 32 for 2 at the moment, as Van Buren is in around the wicket, and this one pushed out by Smeed into the onside. And again, they'll think about 2, but it's only 1. Good fielding from Gloucestershire. Don't forget to send us the pictures of how you're watching. #StreamInStyle. Make sure you're following at It's Trade Nation. Give them a tag in there as well. At Somerset CCC. We'll give away 150 quid in cash, and that one is played out into the offside by Abel. Just a single there. £150 in cash. That's anywhere in the world. How many rupees in Pakistan was it again there, Steve?
31,859 Pakistani rupees.
Fantastic stuff. He's memorised that now. And the second prize, a Babar Azam Somerset shirt. So you don't want to miss out on that one. As it is played by Will Smeed out into the offside this time, and they pick out another run. So picking up 1s there throughout pretty much the whole over. It's not going to be enough. The run rate creeping over 12. I'm just keeping an eye on that because it is high already. Yes, there's time to bring it back, but actually that scoreboard pressure that we talked about, batting first, it's going to be in your mind as a batsman thinking about that, whether you're trying to take it out of there or not.
That's a brilliant power play from Gloucestershire. Van Buren's bowled superbly there. He's speared the ball in full, given absolutely no way that the Somerset batsman can elevate the ball whatsoever. Nothing to work with. Been very, very accurate there. Equally, David Payne has bowled a really tough length for the Somerset batsman to get underneath. Bowled some cutters into the pitch. I think the only pace on misdirected ball he bowled was the clip down to short fine leg by Babar Azam for 4 runs. Apart from that, they've been very, very economical and very, very accurate, the Gloucestershire bowlers here. And Somerset have got an awful lot of work to do. Benny Howell, who batted quite superbly with 49 runs, I think, off 18 deliveries or something absurd like that. He's going to come on and bowl now, and he's played an awful lot of T20 cricket around the world. Subtle variations, knuckleballs, back of the hand, slower balls, and keeper up as well. This is going to be a tough test for Will Smeed and Tom Abel.
It will be Smeed on strike to Howell's first ball for a while. That one down the leg side, or I wonder whether they did get a touch on it. It's going to be given as runs there. So Smeed picks up another boundary. Good for him. He's into double figures now, 12, and he'll be feeling good about life. His highest score for Somerset in only his second game. He's on 12. Abel at the other end on 3. They won't mind balls going down the onto the leg side area like that, if they can just pick up easy fours, it's a bit of a gift from Benny Howell. He's in again over the wicket to Smeed, who's flicking this one out into the backward square leg area. That one gone for 4. So consecutive boundaries for Will Smeed, who's beginning to show us a bit of why he's got this reputation. 16 he moves on to, the score 43 for 2. Benny Howell, expensive in his first 2 balls.
Yeah, definitely. Will Smeed just picking up the length of that ball really quickly. And I think when you come into professional cricket as a young player, you just need that score to get yourself going, to give yourself that confidence and that belief. As Howell's in again this time, it's a slower ball by Howell, well picked up by Benny Howell and his follow through, no run. But you just need that score to give yourself that confidence and that belief. If anybody listened to the interview I did with Marcus Roscothik earlier before the game, one of the differences he highlighted between county batsmen and international batsmen was the belief they have, whether that's taking the game forward or in their own ability. I think that's the same when you first come into professional cricket. I think you do have the inner confidence that you can do it, but until you actually show yourself that you can, as Smeed drives one away on the offside, going to run hard, I think it's just going to be a single as Chris Dent does the fielding. It's given a no ball as well by umpire Blackwell. It's going to be a free hit. So if there was no rustiness in Benny Howell's batting, there's been a little rustiness in his bowling so far, which I guess is not unexpected given the length of time he's been out. Maybe just a little bit of nervousness from his perspective. But just to finish on that point, I think once you get that score in professional cricket, it's that the shackles are off and then you can just play without worrying about having to prove to your teammates that you're good enough to be there.
Howell in again, and this one, just had to wait for it there, Abel, who did manage to eventually get the bat onto it. Slower ball in the free hit, just a single from that one. So Smeed brought back on strike. 46 for 2 here. Somerset, we've talked about them losing consistent wickets. We've seen them already lose 2 today. They'll be desperate for a partnership. That's what we haven't seen from Somerset, these partnerships, apart from that first home game against Glamorgan with Abel, who's out there at the moment, off strike, and Hildreth. Of course, no Hildreth at the moment. He's injured. As Will Smeed attempts to turn this one onto the leg side. It's going to be given as a wide there. I thought I heard a noise, but maybe it was bat on pad, as that one is given as a wide. So we'll have to bowl that again. Looking a bit rusty here, Benny Howell, giving away some from free runs.
Well, I was really worried after the power play, because Somerset's power play score of 35 obviously wasn't up there, but the over after the power play, the 7th over with the men out, this has gone for 14 or 4 balls already. So this has been a huge swing in the game as far as Somerset are concerned, as Tom Abel works the ball away to long on for a single. 15 off the over already. Had Benny Howell managed to just churn out a 6 or 7 off this over, Somerset would have been needing an awful lot of runs from 13 overs. As it is, at the moment, I feel as though they're back in the game here, given the damage that's been done in this over from Benny Howell. If Will Smeed can play this ball brilliantly as well, I think Somerset will be going in to the remaining 13 overs with a little bit of confidence. But Will Smeed on strike. He's on 17 not out already, which is great to see from the young batter, and he drives one away on the offside. I think just going to be a single. It's fielded well by Dent. Tom Abel's going to be run out here. Oh my goodness, that's a poor run from Tom Abel. Good piece of fielding by Chris Dent, and we mentioned that it was an excellent over from Somerset, but the wicket has won that from Gloucestershire. Poor piece of running for Abel and Smeed. I'm not sure who's called that, but it never looked like a second run. Good piece of fielding from Dent. He released the ball quickly. Abel was well short of the ground. He had to think it was probably Abel's call, and Tom Abel has gone for 5. Disappointing wicket to lose that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that must have been Abel's call towards the danger end as well, and I said they were pushing for 2s, they were looking for them, and that one, it wasn't there. They took it on the arm, and in the end Gloucestershire's fielding very good. Abel will be gutted, absolutely. Well, he's already had the disappointment with his bowling, only managed 2 legitimate deliveries, and now on his own call, we think, has been run out. So Somerset losing a wicket there. It's 51 for 3, including that single that will count from the run out there. That was coming back for the second that they didn't complete the run. So, disappointing for Somerset. We mentioned how important it was for partnerships, and that is not how you want to see partnerships end. If you're got out, you don't mind quite so much if it's good bowling, excellent fielding, but from there, calling that is not particularly clever cricket from the club captain, Tom Abel. Will Smeed still there, though, and it will be, I think, George Bartlett, by the look of it, who's come in next in for Somerset.
Yep, George Bartlett's come in. Good player of spin, George. Tom Smith is into the attack as well from the Marcus Roscothik stand end, as Bartlett immediately into his work. just steps across the ball and places the ball into the onside for a single. Will Smeed 18 not out off 11 deliveries, so good start from him so far. Somerset are 51 for 3. We're in the 8th over, maybe 52 for 3 now. It's Smith to Smeed, the battle of the S's, as Smeed's on the back foot. Smith fields well off his own bowling, and no run scored there. But Bartlett and Smeed have got a lot of work to do. Somerset requiring 152 more runs to win from 13 overs. That's a tough ask. Some extravagant shots are going to be needed, and a fair amount of luck as well, as Smeed is onto the back foot. I've seen him do that countless times and bury those for 6, but he certainly tried to give that everything. Tom Smith just spinning the ball past Will Smeed there.
Yeah, it looks good if you get hold of it. Not so good when you miss it. Smith around the wicket to Smeed, who this time gets a leading edge. It's going to push out into the point area. There's another quick single here. Somerset struggling. 3 wickets down, and again we've seen just a lack of partnerships. We want to see partnerships for Somerset, get them towards this total. 151 still needed. We're into the 8th over here at Taunton under clear blue skies. Smith in again to Bartlett, who plays that nicely timed out onto the leg side. Hasn't picked the gap though. It'll be the fielder who comes around to play it in the mid-wicket area. Just the single added. Gloucestershire won't mind singles at all in this game, as the runs now are exactly 150 needed. They've got 8 overs and 1 ball left in this Smith over. He's around the wicket to Smeed, who plays this one out into the leg side as well, and again just a single. Gloucestershire will be very happy with that.
Yeah, see the formula, what Gloucestershire are doing. They're spearing the ball in very full towards leg stump. There's not much variation in pace, not looking to bowl any slow deliveries, but spearing in the ball full, not letting the Gloucestershire players get underneath it. And when you've got over 200 on the board, that's a pretty effective way of doing things, that is for sure. But yeah, looking like Gloucestershire well in control of this one, but strange things do happen. Benny Howell's first over went for 16, and there was an unfortunate run out of Abel. A huge momentum swing in the game, given the poorness of the Benny Howell over. So really disappointing to lose that wicket right at the very end there. But c'est la vie, such is life, such is cricket. Just a reminder, use the hashtag #StreamingStyle. Show us where you're watching from. We're going to pick some winners very soon to win that £150 or that 31,859 rupees as Smeed drives one away on the onside. They're going to push hard for 2. George Bartlett should look to come back here. He does so as Bartlett and Smeed scamper between the wickets for 2. But yes, use the hashtag #StreamingStyle. Follow Trade Nation. Show us how you're watching the game. Make it innovative. Make it funny. Make Charlie Taylor and myself smile. And hopefully some Somerset's batting will make us smile in a bit as well, because we need a few more boundaries.
We certainly want to see those, not just because it will help Somerset in the run chase, but also because it raises money for charity. £25 for every 4, £50 for every 6. Smeed this time trying to find a gap on the leg side as he pulls it pretty square. Does not find the gap. It's just a single in the end. The score is 58 for 3. Smeed there on 23. Bartlett on 2 runs now, so Smeed will be happy. 23 runs. He's got to keep going though. This is the key. You can't just get to 23 and get out once you got yourself in. If I had a bit of time at the crease now, he'll want to be there. Steve knows more than anyone. Smeed has got the talent, and this time it's Bartlett playing out onto the offside, upish, but safe. And they come back for a single, so it's 59 for 3 now, and it's Benny Howell, who's bowling better in this over than he did in the previous one.
Yeah, Benny Howell just using his variations, and Will or no, Will's got a very smart head on his shoulders in relation to what the game needs. Will fully recognise that he'll need to start looking to hit some boundaries off Benny Howell, and that's not an easy thing to do, because Benny's been playing T20 cricket around the world. He's got some good variations, some good understanding of the game. As Smeed whacks this one away, it's going to be 4. It's pace on by Benny Howell. Smeed used those strong wrists of his, whipped the ball away to the fine leg fence. It's another boundary. It's a misdirected ball by Benny Howell. We've talked about how Gloucestershire have ensured that Somerset can't get underneath the ball. This time the ball was too straight, headed down the leg side. Smeed, fast hands, whipped the ball away for a much needed boundary from Somerset's perspective. 27 not out, Will Smeed off 18 deliveries. Benny Howell is in from the Sir Ian Botham stand end. Smeed whacks this for 6. He's hit this up into the flats, not quite. Halfway up into the stand. That's £50 to the Children's Hospice South West. Will Smeed's first 6 in professional cricket what a shot that was, Charlie. We're going to see a replay of that. We talked about his fast hands, his strong wrist. It was a short, misdirected. It wasn't too short, actually, from Benny Howe, but Will Smeed, majestic flick, the power of the man. What a shot that was.
Yeah, I think flick is the right word. He certainly didn't try and over-hit it, try and force his way into it, just used the timing, used his, as you say, his quick hands, flicking it into pretty much into the flats for 6 runs. Lovely looking shot from Will Smeed, who's on to 33, who scored pretty much half of his team's runs. It's 69 for 3. We've got 1 ball left in this Benny Howell over. And it'll be Will Smeed on strike after that beautiful 6. He's in this time. He's playing it over the infield on the around cover area, and they come through for a single. So we'll keep the strike. The score 70 for 3. 134 still needed. We're 9 overs in by this point. Gloucestershire were already into the hundreds, so a big difference in the scores. But it was Somerset who managed to bring that back in the latter half of the inning. So it's still very much doable for Somerset. They're not out of this game, but it's going to take some really good cricket.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving this, Charlie, because what we're seeing here is the emergence of some real talent, and fortunately now we can talk enough about it because people at home would have seen some of the quality of shots from Smeed, but the belief is coursing through his veins here. And as I mentioned, you need that first innings to give yourself some belief, and to get a few away the middle will have given Smeed that now. Be interested how he takes on Tom Smith in this over. This ball's down the leg side. It's going to be a leg by as James Bracey does the work and George Bartlett scampers through. But Smeed and Bartlett just need to keep going here, need to keep trying to pick up the boundaries early on in the over and put some pressure on the Gloucestershire bowlers, because Smith not looking to spin the ball too much here, looking to spear the ball in towards leg stump. Interesting in terms of the approach Bartlett and Smeed will take here.
That's a big appeal, but it was a big step to the side from Bartlett, who was trying to hoik this one over the leg side, but Jeremy Lloyd's unmoved, and there's no run. 71 for 3. We're in the 10th over of this innings. Somerset still 133 runs to get, so they're a long way behind the run rate, if you like, as far as, halfway through the innings, halfway through the runs. They've still got a lot to catch up with that. But Smith's in again. Bartlett trying to move across, shuffle across the crease, put the bowler off. He's picked out the fielder on the leg side. The throw comes in. Could be another run out here. It is! What is Somerset doing? Another run out coming back for 2. I don't think it was there. The fielder was pretty quick. The throw was good, and Bartlett has been run out. Another Somerset run out. We can see the replay here as the fielder collects it. It's a very quick collect and throw. And again, great take from the keeper. And Bartlett running back towards the pavilion. He carries on. So another wicket just as the things were coming together for these two. 71 for 4. Steve Snell, we've seen some bad running from Somerset already today.
Yep, sometimes you've got nothing positive to say. It's better to say nothing at all, isn't it, Charlie? Let's have a look at the Will Smeed 6 instead, I think.
It was a lovely shot, but not been great running for Somerset so far. But here we are, Will Smeed, first 6 in professional cricket for Somerset. Lovely timing. Flicked off his legs for 6 there. 72 for 4, and it's the same old story. Somerset not finding these partnerships. It just will take one big partnership. You think maybe 2 big-ish partnerships would be enough for Somerset with 132 still to go, but just the 6 wickets now.
Yeah, Chris Dent on screen there. Superb fielding from him. To be fair, I don't think it's the smartest cricket from Somerset, but give some credit to Dent there. He's attacked the ball hard, he's released the ball quickly, and he's thrown the ball to the top of the stumps. And he did the same for the Tom Abel run out as well, which should provide some good information to the Somerset batters what he's capable of. But very, very good fielding from the Gloucestershire 4-day skipper. And he's an extremely good fielder.
So it'll be Smith to Lewis Gregory, the captain, who's playing this one out at a conventional-looking cover drive, but stopped at short cover, and there is no run added. So it's easy, isn't it, for us to say, well, you should be pushing for 2s, but you've got to keep an eye on who's got the ball and how that throw's coming in as Smith is in again, and Lewis Gregory this time will find a gap for a single as it's picked up on the boundary, the cover boundary, and there is a single added. 73 for 4. As I tell you what, the pressure is building on Will Smeed's shoulders here. The man who's got in and hung around, he's on 34. Young man, 18 years old, from Glastonbury. He's on strike now to Tom Smith, who's coming around the wicket to him. He's played this one onto the leg side, and they'll think about just the single, surely, as Chris Dent comes in and throws the ball in. Yeah, 74 for 4, the score.
Yeah, I'm generally one of the most optimistic people in the world, Charlie. So I believe you can do extraordinary things and win from any position. But I can't see how Somerset can get anywhere close to this. 130 needed off 10 overs. Given how the state of the game, 4 wickets down, I'm going to... Yeah, start the car, as Bumble would say.
Yeah, it's and this is the thing. We're 10 overs in, still got 10 overs to go. So anything can change. It is T20 cricket. We've seen stranger things happen in cricket, but I think Steve is absolutely right. Gloucestershire with their foot on the throat of Somerset here in the Cider Derby in the West Country, as Will Smeed plays this one out. Well stopped by the bowler, who is Van Buren back on, who's bowling his 4th over already. Only in the 11th over of the innings as Van Buren comes around the wicket again to Smeed, who this time goes through the wicketkeeper's legs. They'll run a bye there, leg bye. I think no, just given as a bye. That one, no touch on the bat or the pad. 75 for 4, but progress is painfully slow here, isn't it? There are no boundaries coming for Somerset. They need 6s and 4s, but the run rate 13.3 with 10 overs to go. It's just been creeping up ever since the start of the innings.
Yeah, Van Buren's been excellent for Gloucestershire. 18 runs just off his 3.2 overs. As Gregory gets an outside edge, the ball's going to run away. It's well fielded by, looks like Benny Howard, short third man there, just diving away to his left-hand side. But Van Buren bowled 2 overs in the power play as well, which he bowled them absolutely superbly, and he's bowling at a hard pace into the pads, very difficult to get away. This time Will Smeed drives the ball, which again finds the fielder. They set really good fields. Gloucestershire bowled those balls to plans, and it's been very difficult for the Somerset batsmen to find the fence quite as easily as the Gloucestershire batsmen did.
Having to force the issue because the pace is off with this spin bowling from both ends at the moment. Somerset to find the boundary, really have to force its way there as Gregory this time has been dropped. Oh, he's been given a lifeline here. That should have been a wicket. Somerset should be 5 down for sure. It was straight to the fielder. It's Jack Taylor, the captain there, who's put one down. 78 for 4. It should be 77 for 5.
Lewis Gregory's not the man you'd want to drop either, is he? As this time Smeed looks to work one away on the leg side, the ball just gripping slightly. It's good bowling from Van Buren. He hasn't taken a wicket. He should have done. His 4 overs are done. 21 runs. We saw Max Waller bowl his 4 overs earlier for 18, but Van Buren's been extremely economical there, just going at 5.25 an over, which is excellent work from him indeed. But Lewis Gregory's not a man that you want to give a life to. Very, very dangerous player. It hasn't been the best of seasons for him. Slightly disjointed in terms of playing some cricket with England and not being around so much. But he's somebody that strikes a mean ball, a far ball. And if anyone can get Somerset close to that score of 204 to win, then it's Lewis.
Tom Smith starting a new over. This one played out onto the leg side. Nicely played, but it's Chris Dent again on the boundary. It's unsurprising to see Somerset are not taking on his arm anymore. So just a single. And this is the issue. You've mentioned the Gloucestershire fields there, Steve. It's a great point because actually it looks like they've got 15 players on the field. The way that Somerset just can't pierce those gaps. Smith again around the wicket, the slow left armour. This one in the air. There'll be a chance for a catch ball there. No, it's gone for 4, just bouncing inside the rope there. So Smeed moving up to 40, 83 for 4. And if Somerset, as you say, are struggling here, there may be positives to take out of it if we can see some more runs from this young man batting. Look at that nice looking shot, swept for 4 out onto the leg side boundary. Smith will see what he's got in store for him this time. It's straight back to him, and he defends well off his own bowling there, Smith. It's 83 for 4.
Yeah, good shot from Will Smeed, but great fielding from Tom Smith off his own bowling. Diving to his wrong hand. No captain hook tendencies from Tom Smith, diving away to his right-hand side. Really good cricket from him, as this time he's down. Smeed swipes it away. Lewis Gregory's going to run hard. Chance for a run out. Gregory gets home. It's good running from him. Just gets through for a single. Tom Smith this time giving Will Smeed the option of a sweep. Didn't quite get all of it. Bottom edge on it. Good bowling and good fielding from Matty Taylor there at the short fine leg region. Takes Somerset on to 84 for 4. In the 12th over here, we'll be announcing the Streaming Star winners very, very shortly. Once Trade Nation have picked their winners, the chance to win that £150 in any currency and that Baba Azam shirt. Lewis Gregory on strike to Tom Smith, who's bowling very effectively here as Gregory goes hard and somehow that has missed the stumps. It looked like it could have been a chance for James Bracey, but ball just missed the stumps by a whisker.
As soon as I saw that miss the bat, I thought we were about to see the bails fly up. Lewis Gregory, who's been given a life, has been dropped already. He's got away with one there as well. How many more lives for Lewis Gregory, who's on 4, trying to force the issue a bit here? And that one, he's come forward. He bowled a wide there, but I'm going to give Tom Smith the benefit of the doubt and say that was a deliberate wide because he saw Lewis Gregory coming forward. So he's going for the attempted stumping. In the end, Gregory back in time. But that's actually quite good cricket from the bowler, seeing that movement from Gregory.
Yeah, definitely. But he knows that Somerset need boundaries and sixes, really. So he knows that Gregory's got to come at him. So very, very smart cricket to throw the ball wide there. Gregory knows that he's got to attack Smith. Smith knows he's going to be attacked. And good bit of work by Bracey.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, the result of that ball was a wide.
Yeah.
1 run to Somerset.
So 1 run to Somerset. Gloucestershire have got runs to play with, though. They can afford that sort of tactic as in comes Smith again. Lewis Gregory this time just settling to clip it into a nice-looking gap. Has he picked it perfectly? No, he hasn't. The fielder will come in, but they have run 2 in the meantime. So 2 runs there. The end of the 12th over. The score is 87 for 4, and Somerset in 8 overs will need 117 runs. They've got 6 wickets to play with. That's a run rate of 14.6. Let's take a look at this Will Smeed shot here. Nicely, just quick hands reactions there, playing it off his pads. That one going, I think, for 4. That one went, didn't it, in the fine leg area. 87 for 4, the score. And Steve, so much work for these batsmen to do. For Somerset to get home, 204 the target.
Yeah, Ryan Higgins coming back on. Interesting to see that the wicketkeeper stood back, James Bracey. I thought he'd be up to the stumps. Will Smeed on to 41. So great to see him playing an innings of substance. Lewis Gregory on to 6. But it's Higgins this time to bowl to Will Smeed, just playing his second professional game. And he drives the ball hard down the ground. They run hard, but it looks like it's just going to be a single as Jack Taylor does the fielding. Can't quite fathom that inexplicable drop by Jack Taylor at cover there off Van Buren in the last over off Lewis Gregory. It's surprising indeed to see him not catch that one.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Actually, you'd pick Somerset as the better fielders so far. That included who they took their catches, but actually 203 runs leaked as Lewis Gregory. Oh, he's hit this straight into Will Smeed. Smeed will have to run because Gregory's down the other end. So even though he got hit on the back there, they come through for a single. That was unlucky, although I suspect it probably was only 1 anyway, with the fielder lurking at long on. But I expect that might hurt if there was no padding. Whereas you don't often pad your back, do you?
Lewis Gregory, just the captain, just whacking one right into to Smeed's backside. Extraordinary stuff. But something's got to give here. Higgins into Smeed. And this time it's pace off. They're going to run hard. There may be 2 here. Gregory looks as though he's going to come back. He's not. Smeed just gets a single. So Gloucester should be really happy with this. Somerset needs to find the boundaries at the moment. They're not able to do that. And still 114 to win off 7.3 overs. It's a huge ask.
Oh, the way things are going, Somerset struggling to find these boundaries. Could be a big win for Gloucestershire. The Somerset need something. They need someone to stand up here and to start scoring these boundaries. Will it be Gregory this time? No, it won't be a boundary, but it will be a single. There's a throw at the stumps. It's a wild throw. And Gregory actually wasn't far away from being hit there, I think, judging by his reaction as he was running. There is just a single, the result of that one. 91 for 4. The score is just edging up painfully slowly for Somerset, who desperately need... Oh, they need several boundaries per over now. We're already creeping up towards 15 and a half. And 15 and a half, that's for the next 7 and a bit overs, is a heck of a lot to keep up with. And they could do with an over worth 30, like we saw earlier in the game, as in comes the bowler. And this one, Higgins, has just been pushed out by Gregory by Smeed, I should say, for a single. And there is just one added again, 92 for 4.
Yeah, it'd be interesting in terms of Lewis Gregory's approach. He's got to try and deposit Higgins into the river. But again, you've got to give credit here to the Gloucestershire bowlers. That they're not giving the length to get underneath the ball. We talked about it earlier in terms of how square has a shot down the ground this time. Gregory's got some of it, and he's got all of it. It's gone for 6. We talked that Somerset did need to get that boundary. Gregory hits that 6. But we were talking earlier how square Somerset were hit. And that's what Gloucestershire have done effectively, have speared the ball in at the toes of Somerset, as this time not quite full enough from Higgins, but also Gregory went deep in his crease and allowed some elevation to get underneath the ball. But that's clearly been the tactic of the Gloucestershire bowlers, to try and get the ball as full and as straight as possible.
Yeah, it wasn't great from Somerset, who were hit for six quite a few times off the back of a length ball, and they kept going for it and quite often getting hit for six from it. Gloucestershire either learning from that, or it was the game plan all along. Sticking with spin here from the Marcus Trescothick Pavilion end, it's Tom Smith bowling a wide one, and this was Smeed shuffling across his crease to get there. That one has gone for 4. It's another boundary for Will Smeed, who is finding them much more easily than any other Somerset player has done so far. He moves to 48. The score has gone up to 102 for 4. Let's take another look at that one. Yeah, just having to shuffle across his crease more than he would have liked, I think, there, Smeed, but still finding the boundary. Nicely played.
It would have been a wide, that one, had Smeed left it. It might have been stumped as well. This time Smith is in, and Smeed works this one away on the onside. Probably just going to be one. They're going to push hard, but Chris Dent has initiated 2 run-outs already, so don't want to go third time unlucky to Chris Dent as he fields brilliantly. Takes Smeed on to 49, which is brilliant to see a young player come into a professional game like this and play so well. 49 off just 34 deliveries. Smith in again. Gregory be looking to attack him, and again this ball is really full and really straight from Smith. Gregory can't get underneath it, and just a single takes him down the other end. Somerset on 104 for 4 in the middle of the 14th over. Smeed on strike, looking to grab his first professional half century, and in comes Tom Smith. Smeed waits, and this time he sweeps. It looks like it's going to be a wide. He looks for a run, but Gregory says no. Jeremy Lloyd outstretches his arm for a wide.
Steve, quite right. You should be the man on commentary as Will Smeed approaches his half century, the man who's helped him through the academy.
Well, it's certainly all his own work, as Smith is in here to Smeed and drives the ball. Bracey takes the bails off, and there is no run. Well, hopefully he's not trying to milk this one, is he, young Smeed? I think there's bigger things at play. Somerset need 15.6 and over to win this game of cricket, which is looking increasingly unlikely with every dot ball that Gloucestershire bowl. Tom Smith and Graham Van Bruen been very, very effective indeed. Looking at the bowling analysis for Gloucestershire, it's clear there's been lots and lots of dots on show. It's Smith again. Smeed whacks this one. He's going to go all the way. He's gone for 6. Brings up his first professional half century with a 6. And what a shot that is. Great to see the young man, Cambridge born but Glastonbury raised. He has reached his first professional 50, 36 deliveries, 2 6s and 6 4s, 55 not out, 36 deliveries. What an innings.
Fantastic to see, and here's the future of Somerset County Cricket Club, and scoring really nicely. 55 he moves on to. Some great shots in there, and it's been great to watch him as Smith is in, and Smeed this time just getting an under edge. It'll, I think, bounced onto his pads and then out into the offside for a single. So he moves up to 56, the score 112 for 4, and as we've said, actually, if Somerset, it's a big old ask, 15.3 and over now in the next 6 overs, but something positive now to take from the game, the 50, first professional 50 for Will Smeed, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of people, not just in Somerset, who should be very excited about this young talent.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant to him to show what he can do. But it'll be, if he manages to get Somerset over the line here, it'll be one of the more extraordinary first professional half centuries, that is for sure. There's a change in the bowling. Looks like David Payne is back into the attack, and he was very effective up front. Just 11 runs from his 2 overs, plus the wicket of Baba Azam, just bowling the little cutters away from the right-handers. But we're interested what Smeed will do here, what area he'll look to target. Payne, very experienced campaigner as well, as he's in this time to Smeed. And this time ball goes high, looks as though he's going to be out. Jack Taylor's underneath it. It's going to be a tough catch. Oh, it's dropped. I think it was Ian Cobain, in actual fact, dropped that one, attacking the ball. And my goodness me, it was it looked like a fairly regulation chance, that one. Ian Cobain running in from the long on boundary. Smeed got right the way underneath it, looking to lift Payne into the River Tone. Ball up in that blue sky, and he never looked comfortable under that Cobain, and that ball was put down. We'll see Charlie Taylor undertaking those sort of catches, I think, on Friday before the game. But Charlie, I don't know if you've got any comments or any advice to add to Ian Cobain after seeing that.
Certainly won't be offering the advice. This one is edgy, but it looks like it will run away for 4. Bit of spin on that one, I should think, as well, as it took off an edge there from Lewis Gregory. 4 more runs added to the total, 117 for 4, and Somerset now looking to take this attack to Gloucestershire. They just couldn't afford any more hanging around after those dots, and they're attempting to hit these boundaries. We've seen a drop there. In fact, the second drop we've seen from Gloucestershire. Their fielding hasn't been great. They do have plenty of runs to play with, though, so I won't mind too much, as it'll be Payne in again over the wicket. And again, this one an attempt and a catch. Oh, another drop. It would have been a tough one. It was an outstretched left hand from the fielder. They come back for 2 here, Gregory, and that was an great attempt shot. Nice for the cameras, but the only thing missing was actually clinging on to it. It was Smith who couldn't quite grab it, but a good parry nonetheless.
Yeah, it would have been a catch for the ages had Tom Smith caught that. It was a hard hit shot by Lewis Gregory. Didn't get all of it, but Smith diving full length to his left hand side, towards his good side, not towards his hook side. And super effort that. It was nearly a superb catch. Gregory goes big. That's going to go for 6. What a shot that is, Lewis Gregory. He's certainly taken the attack to the Gloucestershire bowlers here. That's into the stands. Superb shot from Lewis Gregory. And Somerset just turning the corner here. Takes Gregory on to 27 off just 14 deliveries. We're going to see a replay here. Gregory just advanced actually and just lofted the ball onto the leg side. What a shot.
I don't think Gloucestershire will mind too much here. Somerset are now hitting pretty much everything, or trying to. Their chances will come. We've seen 2 drops, one harder than the other, it has to be said, in the last few balls. So Gloucestershire know that the chances will come. Somerset here just could not afford to wait any longer. Only the 5 overs and 2 balls left now, as Gregory's on strike to Payne. Over the wicket he comes, and this one down the leg side, given as a wide. He'll have to re-bowl that one. Somerset have 79 more runs, 78 now, more runs to win. The run rate at 14.5. Coming up at the end of this over. If you've entered our streaming style competition, if you sent us the pictures of how you're watching, stay tuned. We're going to be announcing the winner of the Babar Azam shirt at the end of this over. It will be David Payne over the wicket to Gregory, who doesn't get anything on this one. It bounces past the stumps, not far away from them, and it's a dot ball.
Yeah, good bowling that from David Payne. It's been a rough old over for him so far, but good comeback with Gregory looking to open up that leg side again. I think small mercies for Somerset. Briefly, that rate just dipped below the 15 and over marker. It's back up there again now. Gregory certainly be looking to target David Payne again. But interesting what overs have got left. Somerset have almost gone all in with their main bowlers, their better bowlers. So Benny Howell's got 2 overs for 31. A bit rusty as Gregory whips one away on the onside. He's going to keep the strike. That's just a single to him. Takes Somerset on to 127 for 4. There's 5 overs remaining, 77 to win. It's by no means impossible, but it is unlikely. Put in news for you now in terms of our streaming style competition. We've been obviously promoting it across the course of the day. But the winner of the Babar Azam shirt, all the way from Pakistan, is Ahmed. Hamed, I beg your pardon, wins the streaming style. Superb picture there. Good luck to you. Babar Azam fan wins the Babar Azam shirt. Well done, Mr. Hamed.
Fantastic work. We will be announcing the winner of the cash prize a little bit later, so don't worry if you didn't win that one. You can still be in a chance of winning 150 quid or the equivalent wherever you are in the world. That announcement a little bit later. We've got 5 overs to go, so we're 3/4 of the way into this Somerset innings. Somerset, to put it bluntly, need boundaries. If they're going to win this match, they need boundaries, and lots of them. As the bowler comes in, this one's slow and wide looking. It's a great ball, just on the edge of the wide area, but the umpire doesn't give it.
Yeah, tight one that. Must have gone straight over it. Lewis Gregory thought it was a wide, that's for sure. But Gregory just backing away, give himself a bit of room, giving Novak Djokovic lookalike Benny Howell the chance to spear one in towards the wide line. But Howell's been under a bit of pressure here. 2 overs for 31 as this time Gregory works on away the leg side. That's going to go for a 6. That's gone all the way. It's it's been signalled 4.
Yeah, I think
it just carried, but maybe needed one more club there, Lewis Gregory. I know he likes his golf, but nonetheless, a good shot. 4 more runs to Lewis Gregory. Takes him to 34 off 18 deliveries. Somerset just looking to put their foot down on the gas here. I beg your pardon, as Lewis Gregory just puts his bat down. He's on strike again. Slow ball, drives down the ground hard. You're going to hear the thump. Straight into the stands. That's gone for 6. Super shot by Lewis Gregory. 6 more to the Somerset captain. Somerset on to 137 for 4. Gregory on to 38.
Well, if this tactic works, it's one heck of a way to win a T20 when you're chasing 204, is to leave it to the last 5 overs. But That's what they're doing at the moment. You might be able to spot just behind the wicket, as we currently see, we've got a fan. There's one little gap in the railings. One fan keeping an eye on proceedings. Lewis Gregory on strike as Howell comes in again. It's a slower one, and Gregory not quite reading it, I don't think. A little bit wider perhaps than he was expecting. Gregory disappointed with himself. There we go. He was wearing the special NHS shirt, which Somerset County Cricket Club released a little bit earlier on this year. All money raised went to NHS charities. So great work after what has been a really, really difficult year for so many people involved with the NHS and others as well. So great to see that shirt from Somerset in use. I've got mine at home. In comes Howell again to Gregory, who comes down the pitch and is stumped. Missed the ball, and that's the risk you take when you come down the pitch like that for a 6. So Lewis Gregory has to return to the pavilion. He was taking the attack to Gloucestershire, and the 5th wicket falls with 4 overs and a ball left in this game. 67 runs needed. Will Smead still there, looking good on 57, but Lewis Gregory departs for a well-made 38.
Yeah, just thinking about some of the things that have happened in this game that would potentially impact the result. And look at the over with Tom Abel and Ollie Sale earlier, I think that went for 30 off 1 over. You know, you take 20 runs off that and Somerset need 47 off 4. Still a tough ask, but the way Somerset have batted, you know, they've played okay, haven't played terribly, but played okay. Obviously, Will Smead and Lewis Gregory, you know, have done nicely, but just that 1 over, the impact on the game in terms of the score that Gloucestershire got up to, I think is going to be a pivotal moment in the match. That's for sure.
Well, it's Tom Lammonby, and Tom Lammonby is as the new man can certainly hit 6s. He's a man who's in good form as well. Nearly won the game for Somerset against Worcestershire here on Friday, and instantly stepping away from his stumps, trying to hit that one over the long off area. Doesn't get hold of it. It's a dot ball. So very pleased to say that our winners of the cash prize on screen now. Well done to you. If that's you, it's Dan Smith and his family. You can see a couple more of those NHS shirts on display there. Watching the cricket at the beach, hashtag stream in style. They've got the surfboard there as well. Very cool. Very cool indeed. So well done, Dan Smith. 150 quid heading your way. You're going to have to share that with the kids there, Dan. Maybe take them on surfing lessons.
And if you do want to convert it into Pakistani rupees, I've got it on good authority. It's 31,859 there, Dan.
That's, well, yeah, take away the commission there. You've got to factor these things in there, Steve, if you're going to get it changed at Bureau de Change. It is 137 for 5. And it's going to be another over here now for Ryan Higgins into Smead, who can't get that one away. It's a precious dot ball for Gloucestershire. 67 still needed, less than 4 overs to go.
Yeah, good bowling again. You know, he's taking the elevation out of it. It's got, you know, right underneath the bats. I think if you're going to bowl those balls, then, you know, again, the only thing Somerset could have done is gone to that scoop on those reverse sweeps, the deflections a little bit earlier, but again, it looks like it's going to be a slight difference. He's moved his field. Third man's gone back. Square legs come up. So he's probably going to go wide Yorker. Here he does. Again, the set plays in cricket are prevalent now. It's not rocket science what players are trying to do, but even knowing with that, it's still hard to hit them.
Oh, wide Yorker is you have to be pretty special to get falls off that. People like Joss Butler will be targeting boundaries off those balls, but you know, if it's well executed, it's very hard to get away.
In comes Higgins again, probably going to try and bowl the same ball, and Smead this time steps inside and tries to hit towards the leg side boundary. I think, you know, Gloucestershire have bowled excellently here, you know, this afternoon. I think they've been really, really good, taking their chances in the field. Apart from that, you know, ridiculous catch that Tom Smith almost caught. The chance that he almost took. But yeah, Gloucestershire have been excellent in terms of their plans with the ball and their execution of that. They've taken away the boundaries by reducing the elevation that Somerset can get on the ball. It's just been very smart but simple cricket.
Yeah, let's see what Tom Lammonby can do then. He's only had 1 ball at the end of the last over. On strike now, a man in good form. Coming in quite low down at 7. He's a very talented batsman to have coming in at 7. All-rounder really, as Higgins is in again. That's a lovely looking shot from Lammonby into the Colin Atkinson pavilion. Well caught. Who was that? I wonder if we've got a replay. One of the Somerset players or staff taking a nice catch in the stands. 6 more runs. I told you, Lammonby is he's in good nick at the moment. Nicely done. Let's see if we can see if we had a camera set up to see who that was. We'll try and get that for you. Higgins is in again. Lammonby this time trying something similar. He's played it nicely. Outfound a gap on the leg side. And runs coming swiftly now for Lammonby, who moves up to 10 from 3 balls, 148 for 5. Still 56 needed. It's a lot of runs needed. They've got 3 overs and 1 ball to do that. So 19 balls, 56 runs. I mean, it's still a tall order. 17.7 needed per over. What can Lammonby do? Last ball of the over, gives himself some room, and this time there's another 6. This is what Somerset needed. I said they needed lots of boundaries. Well, Lammonby might just be the man to do that. He is in great form at the moment. 17 overs gone, 154 for 5. Confirmation that it was James Hildreth in the Colin Atkinson Pavilion taking the catch off Lammonby. So he might be injured. Barely had to move to take that one, though. So nice work, James Hildreth in the stands. But Lammonby here could be dragging Somerset back into it. Am I getting too excited, Steve? What do you think?
Potentially, yeah. 50 off 3, I think, is still a big ask. But, I mean, it's just good batting from Tom Lammonby. And he's showing he can hit boundaries off the front foot down the ground. He's showing that he can rock back, hit the slow ball for 6. And also using the pace off ball and working it to the final leg boundary for 4. He is in superb touch at the moment. Tom Lammonby, what a young player he is, and he's making a huge amount of impact in every game he plays at the moment. But Will Smeed needs to get going here. Benny Howe is into Smeed. This time Smeed drives away on the onside. I think it's just going to be a single as Chris Dent does the fielding. He's been magnificent out there today. Superb fielding again from him.
Well, it's not terrible, a single actually. If Lammonby's seeing it big enough like that he can hit 4s and 6s with relative ease, actually. Smeed, who's played a great innings here, 59, played well for his side, and as Lammonby comes in, he's happy to see Lammonby take the strike. There's a bit of a conflab going on as Jack Taylor and Benny Howe come together for a bit of a chat. They're thinking about what field to set to the in-form Tom Lammonby, who's really announced himself this season for Somerset. He's had a good few seasons, but this year it's been a standout one for him. He's trying again to hoik it onto the leg side here. It's only going to be a single. So 2 singles so far. He's crossed with himself there, Lammonby. Kicks the turf as he completes his run. The score 156 for 5. 48 needed. They've only got 2 overs and 4 balls to get 48 runs. It's a massive total at Gloucestershire set, but Somerset just about clinging on with their fingernails here. It'll be Howell from the Marcus Trescothick Pavilion end over the wicket, and Smeed on one knee trying to find a gap on the leg side. Won't find it. They're coming back for 2, and good running this time. And the score 158 for 5. 3 balls left in this. Smeed on strike, getting a good feel now for what it's like to play a big innings with Somerset.
Tough physically as well to play an innings at this intensity. Just seeing here from Will, just needs to remember not to overswing, just to make good connection. No pace on the ball from Benny Howe, and this time he does. That's exactly what he does. He waited, he went for good connection, he used his bat face and swung the ball over the leg side. What a shot from young Will Smeed. Superb strike. Let the ball come to him, let the bat face do the work. That's great work from the young man. And we're going to see this again. Just watch how he keeps his hands back. Boom.
Straight into the St James's car park. Are you parked down there, Steve?
No, I've seen him back before. I'm tucked away by the bins where we saw one of the players early looking for the ball.
Yeah, so any player. In fact, I think some of the Gloucestershire players are parked down that way. They have to pretty much drive themselves these days from Bristol. It's a relatively short trip as far as comparing it to some of the other grounds that you might have to reach to get to Taunton. Howell to Smeed. Smeed into 67. It's 164 for 5. What can Smeed do here? Same again. It's big enough. It's bound into the same area. Another 6. He's playing a fantastic innings here is Will Smeed, the 18-year-old from Glastonbury. 73 he moves on to. It's 170 for 5. 34 runs needed. They've got a ball left in this Benny Howell over. And Smeed is enjoying himself out there now, Steve.
Believe the hype. This kid is going to be a bit special. What a shot that was from Smeed. Again, no pace on the ball from Howell. Waited, kept his hands back, dispatched it into the car park again. Can he go 3 in a row into the car park? I'm sure he'll be trying. Somerset coming back into this game. Surely they can't, can they? Howling again. Smeed. Better ball this time from Howell. Again, not giving any elevation. We talked about that's what Gloucestershire have done well. They've come away from that the last couple of deliveries. Let Smeed get underneath a couple, but great batting from the youngster. Takes him on to 74. Somerset on 171 for 5. 33 needed. off 2 overs, Lammerby has come in and put the impetus on this innings.
Yeah, and actually to have someone coming in at the other end like that for Will Smeed, who's been out there for a while, actually I guess gives him a bit of licence as well. Thinks, all right, this is where we are in the game. Lammerby probably been talking about it a bit with the team back in the pavilion. Smeed not privy to those conversations while you're out in the middle, so I guess that helps him as well. But those sixes really clean, beautiful strokes, and he keeps the strike with that single on the last ball. 2 overs left, 12 balls to hit 33 runs. It's a big ask for Somerset, but they're still in this game.
Higgins in this time to Smeed, who made him wait. I like that. Oh, he hasn't got any of that, or has he? It's got all the way. It's in just past the Trade Nation side. It's into the River Tone from Will Smeed. That's not the first time that's going to happen in his career. I can tell you that for nothing, Charlie Taylor. What a strike. First ball of the over. Puts Higgins under pressure. Takes Somerset to 177. Smeed on to 80. You can tell by my voice, I'm getting excited. I said Somerset had no chance. I'm telling you now, Charlie, there's a chance.
T20 cricket. This is why we love it. This is why you stay with us right to the end of the game. No game is ever over till it's over. 27 runs needed. Will Smeed is on 80 not out. It'll be Higgins coming from the river end to Smeed. And he goes big again. This one could well find the gap in the fielders. It doesn't. Oh, it's a good bit of fielding on the boundary. They'll come back for a scrambled 2. 8 balls from the first 2, 8 overruns, I should say, from the first 2 balls here. 10 balls left, 25 runs needed. They've managed to get the run rate down from about 18 to 15. They can still do this. They've got 2 batsmen out there who are finding the boundaries, something they'd struggled with up till this point. Smeed on 82.
Excellent piece of fielding by Scott there. It was a well-struck ball by Smeed. In comes Higgins again. He's under pressure. Smeed goes down the ground. I think it's going to be 6. Hasn't been picked it up, but he's caught. It's out. Caught by Cobain this time. He missed him earlier. Smeed hangs his head, but he's played an excellent innings. He perishes for 82 off just 49 deliveries. Superb knock on his second game from the young Somerset player. Just 18 years old, batting with skill, intelligence, delivery under pressure, but also some high-quality shot play as well. Excellent innings from him. He's given Somerset a fighting chance. He goes for 82. Somerset 179 for 6.
Yeah, cannot fault that really. Had to go, had to take risks. 82 runs. It's what Somerset needed. A big innings. I'm pretty sure they crossed as well, which means that Steve Snell claps, applauds as Will Smeed, one of the academy products, leaves the field. It's Roelof van der Merwe coming onto the field. Tom Lammerby will be on strike. I'm pretty sure they did cross before the catch was taken. And so 3 balls left in this over. That means 9 balls left in total. It was a dot ball. That's the annoying thing about a catch, is that none of the runs count from it. So it's 179 for 6. 25 runs needed. 9 balls to run here. You can see the Somerset players there in the pavilion enjoying that Will Smeed innings. And whatever happens here, whatever the result, that's something to take away from this game. Really special.
Yeah, laid down a marker there, hasn't he? Shown that the cricketing world what he's about, that's for sure. But it was a big ball that. Smeed dispatches that. Somerset then need kind of 20 or 17 to win. I beg your pardon, my maths is out. Need 19 to win off 9 deliveries. It becomes a little bit more believable, but still a very tough ask indeed, as Lammerby, he's got to go big here. He's on strike to Higgins, and he's bowled as well. Good bowling that time from Higgins. Again, Lammerby has come in, he's given it everything, but good execution that from Ryan Higgins. Lammerby chops on for 17 off just 6 deliveries. I mean, it's been actually a quite remarkable innings from young Tom Lammerby as well. You know, despite some good bowling there by Ryan Higgins, Lammerby bangs the turf with frustration, but quite frankly, Somerset have left themselves too much to do.
Yeah, just as we were getting excited, 2 wickets in 2 balls. It's Craig Overton who will join Roelof van der Merwe coming out. Oh, sorry, it's Josh Davey. Craig Overton not playing in this match. Josh Davey comes out to join Roelof van der Merwe. 7 down now, 179 is the score. 25 needed, just 8 balls to get them. So the run rate goes up to basically over 3 a ball is what they need. So boundaries will do, and that is pretty much it that will do in this situation. Josh Davey, a lot of pressure on him. He'll try and get Roelof van der Merwe on strike, I'm sure, though Davey can certainly bat. But van der Merwe, you'd say the more destructive of the two. We've seen him and what he can do. Higgins in again to Davey, who will get a single off this one, which means there'll be 1 ball left for Roelof van der Merwe to do something with here.
Yeah, 24 runs to win. So yeah, Royal van der Merwe kind of needs to dispatch this one to the fence to give Somerset any hope at all. But again, as I mentioned a moment ago, Somerset just left themselves too much to do. I think they've been outbowled and outfielded by Gloucestershire. I think the batting, in terms of what's happened, has been largely similar. I think Benny Howell's innings very similar to Tom Lammerby and Will Smead played very well. I just think that the bowling has been the big difference, as in comes Higgins this time. And van der Merwe whacks one, that's going to be 4. He has found the fence, given Somerset a chance in that last over, needing 20, a small chance it may well be. But van der Merwe has gone, first ball he's faced, he's hit it for a boundary. Somerset need 20 to win. It would be the comeback of all comebacks. But without being too much of a pessimist, I'm going to again bring it back to that one over that went for 30. I think, again, that's going to define the game.
Yep, as you say, if you think that maybe even, let's be generous here, let's say it went for 15 rather than 10, you're still looking at only needing 5 here. That actually is a huge difference in the game. I don't think there's anyone on the pitch or in any cricket that I've seen who sticks with the rule, if you're going to flash hard like Roelof van der Merwe. Here's Tom Lammerby. Let's take a look at this 6, shall we? Look, just poises himself, gets on the front foot. Look at that. Lovely timing. Bringing the bat across the line. It's a big old slog, but it's a good shot from Lammerby there before he departed. So 20 needed. We've got 1 over left here. Josh Davey, the man on strike. Not the one you choose from the 11 in the lineup for Somerset, but Roelof van der Merwe is down the other end. If Davey could just get something on it, get van der Merwe there. 19 from 5 would be something that van der Merwe would maybe not fancy, but certainly have a good go at trying to reach.
I think David Payne, he's played so much cricket for Gloucestershire. Defending 20, I think he'll be very, very comfortable. So unless there's a no ball or anything that goes for 6, then I can't really see Somerset getting anywhere close here. First ball from Payne, sort of fairly wide Yorker again, bowled it full, so Davey couldn't get underneath it, and it goes for a single. But van der Merwe, he'll be looking to try and give this not just the kitchen sink, probably the bathroom sink, the downstairs loo, and maybe the upstairs toilet as well. It needs to give it absolutely everything here. 19 required off 5 deliveries. Payne again, set a largely offside field, leg side boundary field, so he's not going to give any room whatsoever for van der Merwe. He's in again, it's Yorker, bang on the money. Look at that from Payne, superb delivery, that execution absolutely spot on, the furniture disturbed. Van der Merwe's middle stump peg backed, he's gone for 4, great bowling from David Payne. Somerset 185 for 8.
Unplayable, really, certainly for what Roelof van der Merwe was looking to do. He needs boundaries, he needs runs, and it's a perfect Yorker on middle stump. It's ideal bowling. This is what you want from your death bowler, to put it in unplayable positions, or certainly unscorable positions like that. And Roelof van der Merwe, not much he could do about it. So out comes Ollie Sale. What can he do? It's a big old ask now. 19 off 4. It's getting to the point of impossibility unless we start talking wides and no balls and things like that. So Somerset here, just about in the game, but Gloucestershire wrapping up victory, you'd think, before too long. 4 balls left in this innings, and Somerset making life extremely difficult in the group for themselves here. Top of the table, Gloucestershire will, you think, be heading even further ahead after this result. Hard to see it going any other way.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes the T20 very difficult for Somerset now in terms of qualification, as Payne is in again. Ollie Sale chops it away on the leg side. It's just going to be a single, and they run 1. So that's 3 sixes required to win off 18. 3 sixes required to win off 3 balls, I beg your pardon. If Josh Davey does these, I will run down there and carry him off the pitch myself, I think, Charlie.
I'd love that, except for the COVID problems that would cause.
And everybody would then have to kind of self-isolate for 3 weeks or whatever it is. But David Payne, he looks absolutely in control of proceedings here as he's in to Josh Davey. Again, good full delivery, but it's hit down the ground by Payne. I think that's going to go all the way. He does indeed get a boundary, but that also means, even though that's 4 runs, that's 14 required off 2 deliveries. We've seen in the last couple of games Somerset falling short by Worcestershire Rapids, I think by 3 runs, 2 runs against Warwickshire, and it's been the story of chasing here at the county ground that Somerset are just not getting there, just not doing enough. Again, certain overs are hurting them as Payne is it again. Davey needing 14 off 2. It's a fast Yorker speared in to leg stump. It's going to be a leg bye. It's going to be a single. And now Somerset need 13 off 1 ball. Yes.
There's questions of the top order. I think there's just not enough runs coming from the top order if we're being critical. A couple of silly run-outs in this game. Tom Abel, a man in form, who called through for a second, which was never there. So some things to look at. Somerset could learn a lot from this bowling as Payne is in. Last ball of the innings. This one pushed out into the offside. It'll be a single. And Somerset, who have made actually 192 runs, not a bad score, but chasing 203. So in the end, it's win for Gloucestershire here. They've played pretty well. I don't think you can criticise much about their bowling in particular. Fantastic. A couple of great batting innings as well. Talking about the fantastic stuff that we saw from Howell, who came in and played very well. Hammond as well, looking good while he was in, and Cobain as well. So pretty much the perfect display from Gloucestershire. Good batting, good bowling. Somerset with a lot to learn, and to try and pick up the season from here is going to be a very difficult thing.
Yeah, definitely the game was won there with Gloucestershire's bowling. I think it was fantastic to see young Will Smead score 82 or 49 deliveries in what is just his second game. So delighted to see that. Tom Lamb